Hello, everyone. OBS is being a little weird during the scene transitions, I see. That's fun. How is everyone doing? It's Friday. Friday... Should I say the specific day that it is? Maybe. It's June 23rd. Apparently, according to my iPhone. How y'all doing? It has been quite a week. Hello, Bowser. Hello, Some Plus World. How you doing? It has been quite a week. Y'all see that fucking trailer? That fucking Super Mario Brothers Wonder? God damn, that looks good. Can't wait for that. Hello, Some Plus World. Yes, hello everyone. Hello everyone. Yeah, it's sick. That game looks sick. That direct was really good. There's a lot of stuff coming out this year, it turns out. I'll be honest, like, middle of this year, I was definitely in the camp of like, I don't really know what's coming out this year. Seems like not very many games have. I don't know if there's gonna be 10 games that are like, Game of the Year quality. And yet now, there's clearly very many of them, actually. Hello, pandas, how you doing? Really love pandas. Thank you for the level. It's good to see y'all. Good to see y'all. I got some comments on some levels. Let's look at those real fast. And then I got some up top stuff I want to just run through real quick. Yeah, everything about Super Mario is so good. So far was what is announced in the trailer. Yeah, it's so good. Wow. Negative. Maybe it's... I don't know. I can't win them all. It is the first level. Speedrun. Beat it. Take that as a positive. Alright, then. Wave 5 new tracks and designs. Kamek, Wiggler, and Petey. Oh yeah, Petey Piranha is the one that they are adding from Tour. I was trying to remember that the other day. Who was the last of the characters. Hey, first, before we start, couple of things up front. Want to talk about, first I got these mutes for my loop earplugs. Basically, they're little things that go into, like, the center of the loops and make it a different color. And I think, in theory, like, in some models of loop, like, these are like, non-replaceable earplugs. They're supposed to make it, like, quieter, but I don't know that's really the case with mine because they're already pretty quiet. They're already the quiet time, and I think the inner ear thing, the inner loop thing is made out of the same material, so it doesn't really do anything, but honestly, I kind of like them just for the visual aspect of them. I originally was looking at the red ones that I got in the pack, but I've ended up using the light blue ones because I feel like that contrasts really well with the purple and also makes it very easy to like see them. It turns out when they're on like a black my black end table, it's kind of hard to see solid purple earplugs, it turns out. Especially when they're very, very tiny. They're very, very tiny, you see. You're gonna buy Mario Wonder and RPG and Luigi's Mansion. Yeah, you're gonna buy a lot of games, Lord Bowser. I believe I am too. I also rewired some stuff so we won't have any like issues of the microphone dropping anymore. And so far it seems to be working fantastic since I rewired it, so that's nice. Also, I am thinking, is there a way to make a Stars and Stripes stream work? That July 4th is coming up. I have that day off, as well as the subsequent, like, week and a half. Well, I have the July 4th week and the week after off. So, maybe do some big streams that week. And last year I did, like, a red, white, and blue themed stream for that day. Is there any way to make, like, a Stripes theme for a game work? Stars is easy enough. There's Star Wars, easy. But Stripes, I don't think there's really any such thing. Maybe also I could just do a non-themed stream and just have a good time. I don't know. Thinking about that. Next order of business. Follow up on the making. Let me do a little bit of a maker update for those who didn't see the Saturday stream last week. I'll say it hasn't really evolved much since last Saturday, so, you know, it's not different, but here's Ripsaw Rainbow as it stands now. Some basic ideas I have are, like, making it so that you have to, like, maneuver around these saws on treadmills, have some, like, skull cart stuff going on. Maybe something like this. I realized during that stream that I hadn't used the cape since, like, World 2. So, the cape will be the power-up for this level. Well, that'll be the thing, you know. Also, I believe I'm gonna go with a vertical auto-scroller for this second part. I think that'll be a bit of fun. Seems to work pretty well in the one little screen of this that I've done. Can't you just fly to the end of the stage with the cape? Well, in theory, yeah, that's how capes work, you know? And, if you want to do that, I don't think there'd be any stopping you, except for the fact that the second half, which will be like, you know, most of the level after you get the cape, will be a auto-scroller, so you won't be able to really cheese that in that fashion. So yeah, you'll get the cape, like, you know, a good ways into the first half of the level, so there really won't be that much time to do that much cheese with it, I think. At least that's my theory as of yet. I haven't had much time to work on it since Saturday, though I did draw up a few sketches and little ideas about how to, like, take this bit and, like, change it up a little bit. Let's just try one of these ideas real fast. One idea I had was to make it so that, instead of, like, like... You know what, let me just copy this in its entirety before I, like, start messing with it and making changes. I'll make a second copy of it, like, say, over... Yeah, we don't need this part. This part's kind of crap. Instead of having these guys, instead... do something like a saw down the middle like this. Yep, that's not right. Instead, do something like this. So let's see how that feels real quick. Basically, the idea being like, oh, if you bop off these guys, it might be more fun to go over a thing. I think, make these bigger. These are the bigger guys, so it's a little easier to get over. And, move this forward one. Oopsie daisy. Okay. Let's see how this feels. I think this is gonna be how that section ends up more than like this. Like, I think it's fun to jump over a saw and land on a mole, but I think it'd be more fun if you could jump over something on the other end. And I do indeed. In this initial test, I think that is more fun. This is a little awkward because you sort of have to do a half jump off a guy. Or you could go under like this, which is also perfectly good. There's multiple ways of tackling it. Yeah, I think this first one will be more plain, like just going through them like this. Jump, jump. And then the second time will be jump over, bounce over a thing. I think that's cool. I think that's good. I think that's the direction this should go. Anyway, that's a bit of a maker update. One more thing here before we get into the action of the stream. Hey, let's watch that trailer. Y'all know the one. Hello, Alter for Walter. I want to watch, I'm gonna move into the upper right for this, just because there's some stuff, you know, in the upper... There's some stuff in, like, the corner, you know, for this, but, let's watch that fucking trailer. Here we go. God damn, that's...
Onward and upward.
I love the style. It looks like Mario's 2D. He has a shadow in that first image, in that first, like, bit. There's like 10 coins in there now. That's right, we're watching the trailer for Wonder. That is what we're doing. 10 coins are... Were 10 coins not in any of the previous games? I don't know if 10 coins were a Mario Maker original. I really love those pink Koopas. I want those in... I want this whole, like, aesthetic in Mario Maker 3. But also, I want those guys in Mario Maker 3. You know, the pink ones. God damn. The purple coins kind of remind me of, like, Odyssey. You know, the regional coins in that game. Same kind of concept, isn't it? I replace all of my coins with 10 coins to fit in with Super Mario Wonder. All your which coins? Oh, all your regular... So you mean like 50s and 30s? Yeah, it looks sick. Oh, I do think in Mario Maker there is value to having like different denominations of coins, right? Look at those guys, aren't they cool? Fucking Peach and Daisy and... skating wigglers, foreground, background stuff. Dark. I love those guys. The funny bamboo stack guys. Gliding. I love the style so much in this. Like every character just has so much personality. I want those. Those sideways bullet bills. They look great, and also they're a little bit like my avatar, you know, the rocket thing that I have, you know, on like break screens and such, as well as the alerts, kind of similar. Rockets with like smoke trails. And yeah, fucking Zowie.
That Goomba looks so well then.
That looks good as hell. Elephant apple power-up is gonna be so good. Yeah. Let me move back to the traditional corner here that I'm traditionally in. Also, I don't know, you know, let's watch the Wave 5 trailer. I only have one trailer queued up and ready to go, Lord Bowser. I'm afraid I don't have... It would take more of a minute to pull up any other trailers from that there direct. But, like, yeah, that looks so good, so sick. I wonder, people are wondering if there's gonna be, like, other animal transformation power-ups. I bet the thing thinks, oh, babe. Where does your thing fall? Let me see if I can moderate that. Hang on one second. Try submitting just the submit the level highway, and I'll see if I can I'll see if I can like punch you through. Hello, Rainbow Discord. How you doing? Oh, and did you submit it like earlier on? I'm sorry, I didn't see like a moderation. Go ahead and prove it message, so I'll have to see if I can get that up right now. I got you, Highway. 1 second here. Stream Manager. That's where, like, things to a review would be. Try sending the thing now, Highway, and I'll see if I can punch you through. Anyway. That's it for the up-top stuff. That trailer looks sick. I do wonder if there's gonna be like more... If there's gonna be like more animal power-ups. That would be sick if so. Okay, allow. There we go. Hopefully we finish it this time so we don't have to like punch that through every time. Maybe I should make the filtering less strict. You know... on account that there can be just level codes that appear to be slurs sometimes. unfortunately, and that is always annoying to have to like wave them through. Also, it seems to not appear like on the sometimes it doesn't appear to appear on the like the phone or whatever, so that's weird. Anyway, let's get into these viewer levels. I'm going to pull up the full thing and hit next, and Lord Bowser is the first one up. Let me explain how this works for those who don't know, for those who are new or whatever. If you're here when your level comes up, I get the full time of day, which means 15 minutes. Hello, Rainbow Discord. Okay, you are the one who's I think there's multiple people who are new. Well, if you are here when your level comes up, I give you the full time of day, 15 minutes plus 5 last tries, if that's not enough, outside of the lightning round, which that'll come later, don't y'all worry. 15 minutes plus 5 last tries if that's not enough. If you're not here, I still play the level, but I do so in very nearly but not quite sudden death, wherein I only have 2 tries to beat the level, refreshing a checkpoint, so that's just a little bit of a compromise between playing more levels and prioritizing the people who are, active and ready to go. Playing more levels is always fun, I think, but I do think it is fairest to focus on those who are, to give more time to those who are, in attendance. You know what I mean? Just goes with the territory. This is your newest level, Bowser, yeah? This is one of your new ones. You've uploaded a couple of them since the last stream. I know. Like, is it 2 or 3 of them? I know that this is 3-2. Oh, hey, that's not what I meant to do.
No.
You submitted a very bad level? Well, don't tell me that now. Tell me that when we get there. I'm just kidding. It's fine. Oh, no. I'm sure it's...
Oh no.
I am making a fucking good start here. This level is about the red urchins, using these spinies as a substitute. Oh, you know what it was? Ice. Ice was throwing me for a loop there. The ice physics of the ice, you know.
Oh no.
That was not the fault of ice. That was just me. Okay, this time let's go in and actually play it. Use ice blocks for water. Yeah, I got that much. I guess when you're underwater, the urchins, the spinies are pretty much like urchins. You know, they're just big balls of spines.
Oh no.
There's a roof. I just realized I forgot to grab my water before the stream started, and I'm getting pretty thirsty. Let me go grab that real fast. It's intentionally bad. Gotcha. Sometimes okay, 1 second. Okay. Here we go. Let's do this. This time for sure. We have got this. I haven't seen... Have we seen just like a regular ass power-up in this level yet? I don't know if we have. Just the star, which, is good if you get it, but if you like miss it like that, it's not as good. Is that Bowser? You were saying that you were gonna do 10 coins to fit in with World, with Wonder. Sorry, has that started yet? Is that an example of one? Because that star sequence seems like it could be like very easily like a 50 or a 30. Oh no, there's a 30. I guess that is a good, like, that is very possible that now that 10 coins seem to be like the new dragon coins in like Wonder, or people in the future gonna be like tending towards just using 10s exclusively. I really do like a 50 and a I like a 50, I like a 30. You know, I think those are two good levels of coin, so that'd be sad if that were the case, but let's see now. That's cool. That's a good swimming level. Good work, Lord Bowser. Think you got the job done. It's a little weird that there's no power up in the first half, but you have Fire Flower in the second half, and that's pretty cool. Very, very nice. And timer. Okay, complete. Next up is Sun Plus World. Sun Plus World just said me, so confirmed. Very nice. Let's go. I'm gonna do a card. I do these cards as I stream, and these cards have things I want to talk about it on. You might remember from the first section, the preamble, where I did a bunch of them. I have a bunch of other ones for like the rest of the stream as well. First off, let's talk about that fucking direct. I have other cards for like specific parts of it, in particular, you know, like Wonder and RPG and stuff, but broad strokes here. There was a lot. WarioWare, I thought, looked pretty cool. All the mini-games, all the micro-games were, like, wacky and good. I do think that the best WarioWare will always be the one that was, like, no frills and not a weird thing. You know, the first one. You could make good levels if you wanted to. You can make good levels, too. Okay. Not independent of whether you want to. Rainbow Discord. Pikmin 4, there was a lot of details announced on that. 1 and 2 coming to... Are on the Switch? You have. Okay, cool. Are on Switch. I thought it was funny that Pikmin 1 and 2 hit, like, literally a month after I finished them in SD on stream. I 100%ed both of those games, and... goddamn, my fucking timing there. There's also Luigi's Mansion 2. I'll say... I think that's my least favorite Luigi's Mansion. So, like, I'm not really interested in picking it up again, but I guess it's easier to remake Mansion 2 than it would be to just put out the Luigi's Mansion 1, which I think is the one that you want. As for Peach game, I'm not really, you know, there's not enough to know if it'll be good or not yet. And the last Peach game was not good, so, you know... You gotta be a little worried about that, right? Especially because in that trailer, in that, like, 2 seconds of gameplay, there is an NPC crying, which really does make you think of the last one, where the whole thing was like, women can't control their emotions, so this is a whole game about Peach just getting really sad and really angry. You know, just having, like, all the emotions, because she's a lady. And that was, kind of terrible, like, a bad idea, and also not a good thing for gameplay either. So we'll see about that. That Penny Breakaway game, Penny's Big Breakaway, looks sick. I'm looking forward to that from Sonic Mania Team. And yeah, that's that Mario Kart news. Looks pretty cool. You know, the new track looks great. And yeah, those are 3 characters that they put in. The one thought I had about that, this is 30-second level, by the way. The one thought I had about that, I forgot to set a timer. I will do now. There we go. Timer set. The one thought I had about that is that they say Kamek. Or what? How do they say it? Was it Kamek? Kamek? I think they said Kamek, and I'm pretty sure it's Kamek. Is it not Kamek? Oh shit! I think I'm boned. I got stopped up for a second. That's probably gonna mean death, isn't it? Yeah, we're dead. Oh! Just enough, just enough. Yeah, I know. I really did wonder. Kamek. That can't be right. Has it always been Kamek? It's Kamek, right? If I've been mispronouncing Kamek for the last for the last, 20-something years, I'd be shocked. I'd be shocked. Pretty sure they just said it wrong. Right? Right? Does everyone agree? GG, thank you for the level. Very nice. Let's go ahead and hit complete and see the next one. And by the way, feel free always to submit another level after your level gets completed. It's good, And even if they're long, we will get to the lightning round and we will get through all levels submitted tonight. At least we have done in every previous viewer level stream. So don't worry about it until such time as the queue is closed. Just keep on submitting levels if you like, if you'd like. This is Panda's level. Panda says, have fun. Great. How about another card? Did you see all those Pikmin 4 details? Let's talk about those fucking Pikmin 4 details. First off, there's this motherfucker right here. Glow Pikmin. That's a fucking good design right there. I love how it doesn't have any legs. It's like a ghost, and the weird eyes have as a nice personality. It's a nice new design for a Pikmin, which I think is cool. And I do think it makes sense to have it be oh, these are, I think the idea behind them is they have always been the nocturnal Pikmin. There have always been a nocturnal species of Pikmin out there, the glow Pikmin. It's just that you never encountered them before. And now that you can do night stuff... Okay. Now that you can do night stuff, you're gonna have to use these specifically nocturnal Pikmin to do stuff. Yeah, this is a weird level. You do stuff and it sort of doesn't do like you expected. But it's kind of neat. Kind of neat right here. What? Okay. I was expecting it to kill the guy, but whatever. Okay. This is gonna be a semi-solid, yeah. This is good shit. You've never played Pikmin before. Pikmin's great. I love Pikmin. I will say I'm a little concerned realizing some of the things about this game, one thing is that it's not just an iteration on Pikmin 3, which was my favorite of the Pikmin games. Instead, it seems like they're doing something entirely new. No longer is there a level of... There's no longer the multitasking. No longer the multitasking in the game. You only have one captain. And also you can only have 3 different types of... 3 different types of Pikmin out at once. Rather than letting you just, have all 5 types all at once. And just have a whole bunch of different parties doing a whole bunch of different things. Well, I asked for that. So now you're limited to only 3. Yeah, that was a good level. I liked it. Nice little surprises throughout. Just a series of them, Complete. With the things that they've announced, I'm a little worried about well, this probably isn't gonna hit me as hard as Pikmin 3 did, because I love Alter for Alter You Are Up. I love the multitasking in Pikmin 3, and Pikmin 2 to a lesser extent. Being able to multitask and control several different parties at once, that's a big part of what I love about Pikmin 3, and that's just gone now, and that's kind of a bummer. I still imagine I'll like it, and I'll enjoy the hell out of it, but probably won't be my guess, my thoughts, is that it probably won't be my favorite one. Where's the other 3 Pikmin? Pandas asked. They're on Switch. They're on Switch as well. All 3 of them are on Switch now. Which is great. I've heard those new versions, they have great... Hello, Koofy. They have great, quality of life features. They say. Great quality of life features. Kind of a shame that I just finished replaying those games on the original GameCube. Because, yeah, if I had done this, a month later... If I had done those playthroughs, 2 months later, I'd be able to do all of them in HD, which would be really nice. Yeah, I'm not seeing for Walter. I think we're good. Sudden death is what we'll do. I'll give her Walter a minute. I'll talk about the next card, which is, let's talk about that fucking Super Mario RPG remake. Now, I'll say, I'm not the biggest Super Mario RPG fan. I have never finished that game. I find, like, parts of the gameplay and, like, the way that the combat works to be a little clunky, you know, especially in comparison to, like, Paper Mario and, you know, the later games that really, like, polish the fuck out of it and make really unique, really, like, compelling turn-based combat systems, you know. Both of those other Mario RPG systems really knocked that out of the park and, you know, made something that was, like, wholly unique and super tight and solid and, you know, it's a little hard to go back to Super Mario RPG, I think, after you played the later ones, but at the same time, like, I'm so happy that they made it look like this. I mean, look, as soon as I saw this part of the trailer, you know, where it's just like Mario running across the ground in this, like, first area of the game, you know? This first area of the game, when I saw this, I was just like, holy fucking shit. Hello, Carspino. I said, holy fucking shit, they made it look like this NES game. They made it look just like it. Holy shit, it has, like, the pre-rendered look to it, and, you know, as they got later and later into the trailer, it just showed, like, more and more stuff that was just dripping with that original style. I was just more and more pleased, even though I wasn't the biggest fan of that game in the first place. It's like, shit, goddamn, I think this is the first time I've seen a remake just lean into that pre-rendered style, you know, and not be, like, ashamed of it in some way, you know? Like, imagine if they could do DKC like that. If Donkey Kong Country was just, like, remade in HD, but maintaining that pre-rendered look to it. It'd be amazing. It'd be, like, so fucking cool. And with this remake, I'm feeling, like, more positive about other such remakes. You know, other like, we're gonna go ahead and go. Sudden death applies. I'm feeling like more, I feel like I have more faith in them to do, like, other remakes. Like, if they were to say, like, oh, we're doing TTYD, I feel like I would be more willing to trust them that they wouldn't, like, try to, like, sticker star it up or something. You know, make it look all generic and shit. I'm just so pleased. You'd love DKC remix exactly like the Super Mario RPG. Yeah, that would be so fucking good. That'd be, like, so fucking cool. And with this, looking at that, it's like, oh my god, it's possible. They could do it if they so chose. Why don't I just fly up here? Oh, that's why I don't fly up there. We saw this level last week, by the way, so I remember it. Apparently there was some sort of issue that Walter fixed. Not sure what issue that was, but you know, we'll go through it. Anyway, I vouched that up, like, immediately. I bought a voucher and bought 2 games. I bought Wonder and I bought Super Mario RPG, like, immediately. Even though I wasn't the biggest fan of it, like, oh, I'm just like, the look of it in HD, yet still being pre-rendered, just made me so excited. I was just like, I want it. I'm gonna get it. You know, there was no two ways about it for me. It just looks so damn good. That's impressive how you got this working with the things that did make the things disappear after you've fallen all the way. That's a smart design. Very nice. Alter for Walter. Alright. Thank you for the level. Very good. Looking forward to that game. I'll play it, you know. And I don't know, like, I've never finished RPG. I've gotten pretty far. I think I got, like, to the bird people section. But I never finished it before. I hope that they have... I mean, I guess I hope that they have, like, some sort of, like, make it easier setting, you know? Like, make it so it requires less grinding or whatever the fuck my problem was with it. I think I got to the point where the battles were just a little too hard, and I just had to grind, and it just wasn't feeling it. Something like that was probably what happened. It's been so long. It's probably been like 10, 20 years since the last time I tried RPG, so maybe, you know, maybe this time I'll like it. I'm honestly, like, so charmed by the fact that they preserved it. I'm not even, like... The first time I played that game, I wasn't really the biggest fan of the personality, but now that it's, like, just lovingly preserved, I'm into it. And it's, I'm happy that it came through so cleanly. Rainbow Discord, hey, how you doing? Good luck. Perfect, let's go ahead and punch that in. You are here. Another card, WarioWare Move It. Not much to say about this one, just that, you know, another WarioWare game. Just kind of a surprise, like a year after the other one. I guess they must have had different teams working on different WarioWare games. This level is very bad. Well, let's see. Let me go ahead and get that down and pull up the 15 minutes. There's, looks like other WarioWare games, you know, but, and honestly, when it first came up, the trailer, I thought, like, look at Clear Check, says Rainbow Discord. When it first came up, I thought that, 7 minutes? Jeez, well, we got a 15-minute timer here, so we have time. When it first came up, the, oh, and also we cannot land after leaving the ground. Good to know. So, yeah, start swimming here. We can no longer stop swimming. That Wario Land. Don't swim? Oh. I see. There's gonna be another door that we have to get through, right? Another door that we have to get through. Oh, I see the thing. I thought that those guys were gonna collapse in on us and, like, you know, kill us. Rainbow Discord says maybe. Okay. You're not the first one to submit a hellish level where you just have to wait. This is perhaps a spin on that where you don't have to wait. What you have to do is walk very, very, very slowly. Oh, I can see why this is hell. This is good. This is fine, though. It gives us time to talk about WarioWare. Move It. I thought it was Smooth Moves at first, when I first saw it, but then the minigames all looked new, and soon enough you realize, like, oh shit, it's a new one. I'll say I think the best WarioWare is the first one. You know, the one where it's just like, you have a D-pad, and you have an A button. And that is fucking it. You know, you don't have to worry about anything fucking else. Nothing else is irrelevant here. Just regular-ass controls, regular-ass microgames, that's it. And they've never really done one quite like that. They've always done ones that were gimmicky in ways, you know? Twisted, touched, smooth moves, I guess Gold, do-it-yourself. That's the only one that's, like, the exception to that. Didn't they use the same title for Wii WarioWare? That's Smooth Moves. Move It is a new combination of words. It's similar, though. Didn't they use the same title for Switch? Yeah, different one. And the last one was, what was the last one? Last year's WarioWare? Was it last year? It was like WarioWare Get It Together? Weird one for... That one I feel like was the closest they ever got to, like, just, you know, hey, this one you control with a mouse, with, like, not a mouse, with just the stick and an A button. But every character has, like, a slightly different way of moving, so it's a little bit... Every minigame combination of minigame and character, microgame and character, ends up a little differently. It was a neat idea, but I think there's no beating just a standard-ass WarioWare, and I do hope, someday, they just put out a standard-ass WarioWare with standard-ass microgames, and somehow make it as good as the first one, you know? If they could, if ever they could just manage to top the first one, I'd be so impressed with that. That's enough talk about WarioWare. How about I pull another card? And yeah, let's talk about fucking Wonder some more. I mean, I know we just saw the trailer at the start of the stream, like an hour ago. you know, when we watch the trailer. But goddamn, does that look good? Seems like it has something to do with like the Flower Kingdom. Apparently, I think that's where you're going. People have like done like frame by frame analysis, you know, like watched it in slow motion and shit, and they have seen like, you know, Welcome to the Flower Kingdom as like the first level's name. And also, if you look, the weird guys that give you like the flower at the end after the flagpole, the flower seed, it's like they have like, instead of a toad head, they have like a flower bud, like a bud Pikmin. Why laugh? Why laugh? You're not sure yet to think of it yet? I'm pretty excited, you know. This, I'll say this of wonder. Your favorite WarioWare was Twisted. I'll say I haven't played Twisted. I will say, to be clear, I've never played Twisted. I didn't get it on the original GBA. I hope that it comes out on GBA Online so I can play it with, like, the, you know, tilt controls. It is also one that you cannot, like, you know, emulate. You know, you have to have the actual hardware to make it work, the actual cart. So, like, until they put it out on Switch, there's no way for me to even try it. You know? Just wait until you get to the end bit. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. I can't wait. But yeah, Wonder. It's a good... It's the first time, I think, since, like, fucking Super Mario World, that a 2D Mario game has had any ambition whatsoever. You know? Any ambition beyond just being like, yeah, we put the character in 3D, and in some 3D worlds, and how about that? You know, it seems to work all right. You know? That was sort of the case for all through 2D Super Marios up to the present. You know? Except for, of course, this game here. You know, Super Mario Maker and Super Mario Maker 2. Exception. I mean, main ones. You don't want to spoil it? Please don't. Don't spoil it. We'll see when we get there what's up. It's the first time in like over 20 years. Jeez, like practically 30 years that it was like 30 years ago, Super Mario World, right? Like 33 years ago? God, yeah, 33 years since the last Mario 2D game, besides the Maker games, that had any ambition, and dear lord, it looks good. It looks like they knocked it up as far as style goes. Everything animates so well. There's like a cast of characters that all play different. Yoshi is playable. I'll say, you know what? I will say, to be fair, I think New U is a really great game, and I think New Luigi U is also fantastic. But I also think those games just are playing it safe at every opportunity. You know, every chance where they have like, where like every chance there is to do something exciting, they do not take it. They instead do something really safe and really boring. And I think that's, I always thought that was a problem with them. You know, it sort of limits how good they can be, you know? Even if the level design is great, even if the levels are solid and they have good mechanics, the lack of any ambition, the lack of any, like, selling point, other than, like, oh, hey, it's another 2D Mario, how's that? You know, it's probably gonna be pretty good. I guess you could argue that... Oh, no. I guess you could argue that, I guess you could argue that new Wii had some ambition for the multiplayer mode that it added, but I honestly have never been that impressed by it. Which door do we want to take? Left or right? What do y'all think? Let's take right. I feel like this one's going to be harder to get into. Oh, it's a reset door. It's a reset door. Oh. Several of these are going to be dead ends. Okay, we have a 1 in 4 chance here. How are we gonna decide this? I'm thinking 75%, which would be this one right here. It's not at all? Wait, what? Oh, I did die, I guess. You know, it also requires precision, so I don't know if that was the right one. And, yeah. And I'll say... Not at all. Not all the courses. How do you mean? Another thing that's there's a bit more after that. Oh, hell. Okay. Fuck. Great. One more thing I'll say is great about Super Mario Bros. Wonder is that they've taken out the timer. I don't think the timer is there anymore, nor is the score. That's all gone. You know, the score, the timer, none of that. Which is a good move for 2D Mario. I think the timer and score has been mostly, you know, what's the word? Like an appendix, like the tailbone in a human. It's obsolete. That's not quite right, but you know what I mean. It's not been needed for the like last 20 years, 30 years of game design. We've moved past having timers, having like score, and yet, you know, the games have held on to it until this one. And now there's like a Sonic Adventure 2 style thing where each time you bop, instead of like being 100, 200, 300, instead it's like, cool, great, good, great, super, fantastic, wonderful. And probably after that, like, 1-up, you know. You saw the timer in a few areas. There's bonus objectives that are timer-based, it looks like. Like, some Wonder events will be timer-based, but those will be, like, specifically set up where it's, What's too flashy for you, Koofy? Just the Wonder part where you go into, like, you know, the weird side modes. The touch fuzzy, get dizzy elements of it. Yeah, I think those changes are really cool, and, you know, look. Any change that makes Mario Brothers more like Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, that, to me, has to be a good move. The wow, good, great stuff, I like it. I think it's cool. More like Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. I'm into that. In fact, I saw someone saying like they thought it'd be so cool if the terms that it did were like just the same as like the secret levels in Mario World. Apparently those weren't the names of them in Japanese, so it really wouldn't make sense, but it's a nice thought nonetheless. Feels like a cheap mobile game to you? I guess, you know, different things feel different for different folk. What the fuck? Does that make sense? Oh, by the way, when we go into last tries here, for the nature of this level, we're gonna do just the one. You know, this will be the last. This will be the last here. You know, this will be the last try, is what I'm saying. Assuming that I don't die. Assuming that I die, like, in 2 minutes. That's fair, yeah. We sometimes do have to make some rules about this. I appreciate that they're, like, taking chances. They're designing new enemies and like, going places, doing things with the IP, not just resting on their laurels, you know? There's parts where you ride Resnors. What the fuck? Whoever thought about riding Resnors before? A herd of Resnors. That looks great. I also do wonder if there's, like... Are we going to play through the levels, like, one time with the Wonder Seed activated, with the Wonder Flower activated, and one time without? Or are you just gonna always do just the Wonder Flower route, you know? I'm wondering if the Wonder Flower thing is like, oh, it's kind of like an in-level mini-game for each level. Similar to like how Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze and Returns has like sort of like side objectives like baked into the level. You know, in the same way, this game is going to be like, okay, now a million bounty guys drop into the thing, and you gotta get like a Wonder Seed from them in 20 seconds. You know, very much like a bonus game from Donkey Kong Country, if you think about it, if you get right down to it. You know, it wouldn't be out of place in a Donkey Kong Country game if it worked like that. You know, in fact, if you think about it, it'd be a natural progression from like bonus levels, bonus objectives baked into levels, bonus objectives with timers and, you know, one-off elements, like, baked into the levels. You wonder if it's from the Wonder Flower or a power-up? Yeah, I wonder that as well. You know, with the elephant being a power-up, it wouldn't be, like, completely out of sorts for the rolling thing to be a regular power-up as well. I'll say, the one thing I want from Mario Maker... Hey, the timer's up. I'm gonna end the timer and get up last tries, but, you know, we're gonna count this as just one solid try, because we can't do 7 minutes every 5 times in a row. That just doesn't work. The one thing what was I saying? The one power-up I want from Mario Maker in Wonder, and I think that... Honestly, I think that other games should also do this. I want the spike helmet. The spike helmet is so cool. It is so cool to be able to kill enemies above you by, like, jumping into their buttholes. I want that in Wonder. I think that would be so fun. I think that would be so cool. I know it's so fun. I play it in this game all the time. And whenever I get the shiny helmet in a traditional level, it's like, oh shit, this rules. You know? They can make it so that you can't, like, you know, throw it as a projectile. It just pops onto your head now. I think that would be fair. I think that'd be a good change, honestly. You want an electric power-up. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what that would look like, but could be cool. You can kill enemies with the spike helmet while walking up slopes too. That is true, yes. How do I know when I'm lined up properly? I'm not. Okay. There we go. Thank you for the level. Do you want me to like it? If you want me to boo it, I'm okay with that. If you think that would be funnier, but usually I do like levels. No, we're gonna give it a like. Whatever. Thank you for the level. It's fine either way. Thank you for the level. You know what you did, but I'm gonna give a like nonetheless. I think that was fairly funny. And next up will be Highway Lighthouse. Give it a go yourself. On off. You're paused about with 200 seconds left. Highway, are you trying to be the first one to beat it? God damn, Highway, I wish you luck. You know, if you do so, let us know and we'll pull it back up and go, holy shit, you did it, later on. Good luck with lining up that shit, though. That seems like a whole hell of a thing to do. Before that, one more card. Hey, let's watch that fucking trailer again. I'm gonna move myself up here again, and there we go. That fucking trailer, here we go. Oh, get that fucking prize left out of here.
Onward and upward.
I wonder about those little flower things that you collect. Like, do those unlock the big flower? I love those guys, the walking piranha plants. I think that's a much better spin. I love those guys. That looks super cool. That's so like Tropical Freeze right there. That rail thing. There's a wall of spikes behind the gold, by the way. Ooh, with a hole. Oh, that sounds hellish. I do wonder about those little flowers. And here's a weird thing I noticed when like rewatching it over and over again. The trailer. I noticed that after the will seed at the end of the section, you know, after Mario gets the will seed. Oh, you know what I just noticed? He did a mid-air spin. Mid-air spins are in the game, like in New U and all the other ones. It looked good though, the mid-air spin. Look at that shit. What the hell? Those are Resnors. Look at those things. So here, after you get the Wonder Seed, right? It seems like there's 2 of them in the level, but there's another one of those little flowers, so how does that work? Why would there be little flowers after you got the Wonder Seed already? And I know there's a second Wonder Seed, but at the end of the trailer, the second Wonder Seed turns out to be just the end of the level. So either not every level has the second Wonder Seed be the end of the level, or you still have to collect them for some reason. I wonder. Request, do !add is the command. I also wonder if that hat is just on all the time. Like if you can hat fly all the time. That'd be weird, but cool. Wait, what the fuck was that bit with the flying? Like, they're doing like Zelda. Tears of the Kingdom, like air gliding. You know, like, you know how you do like the wingsuits stuff. You know, when you're not like diving, you're going like this. You have to put a space between the thing. There you go. And also, yeah, that's, what, October? God damn, that's gonna be good. And again, there's the elephant. I wonder if the elephant can break blocks beneath them, like the Big Mario can in Mario Maker 2. I think that'd be really cool if that was the same as in Mario Maker 2. You know, if you could just like jump and break blocks even without doing a ground pound. You know, unintentionally. I mean, I guess you can already do that with just regular ass Mario, you know, just ground pound and you break the blocks, but the unintentional aspect of it is really fun, I think, and you can do business with that. Let's go ahead and move me back over here and get the trailer back down. God damn, that looks good. All right, Highway, your level is up next. I'm going to punch it in. I'll do another card while I punch it in. Did you hear about those GBA Fire Emblem games? About how those GBA Fire Emblem games have data transfer implemented in Japan. Yeah, so apparently a feature of those games... You put a good level in this time? I appreciate Rainbow Discord. Apparently a feature of those games in Japan was that they were a pair of games, you know. There were 2 of them. And you could transfer data between one and the other by using like a link cable thing. And they have implemented that working, you know, in GBA Online. So seeing this opens up the possibility of things like, you know, opens up the possibility of things like, portable portals. Okay, cool. I think we... Opens up the possibility of things like, what's that? Of like Pokemon games, right? Where like data is transferred from one Pokemon game to another. That sort of thing has become a lot more possible with the presence of this whole dealy-doo. I need to get the mushroom. You know, now it's gone from being like, okay, well, Pokemon Stadium is never gonna work right because you can never transfer data, to like, oh, they've done something similar now, so they could do it. You know, the only thing that's stopping them is just, you know, the game's not being out. You know, the games that, like, go with it are not out. But goddamn, I hope that's what they do. I hope that whenever they put out, like, you know, Pokemon games on Nintendo Game Boy Advance Online or Game Boy Online alternatively. I guess it would be Game Boy Online for Stadium because Stadium didn't link up to the GBA game, you know, didn't link up to Ruby Sapphire. No. Okay, so not through here yet. Gotta have like an on-off here before we can get that. Oh, I remember what to do. I remember what to do. And if, by the way, if y'all are curious, I have tried this level before. I think we timed out. So, I haven't finished it, but do know a good deal. If I can recall, you know, what exactly I was... how exactly I approached this the first time. Anyway, that shit is really promising, and you know, I'm really looking forward to seeing like what else they can do for new games in the future. And I guess I will say, you know, I haven't tried that Fire Emblem game. You know, I never played it originally back in the day, so I could give that a try, but no plans to as of yet. I guess I don't have a plan for next. Oh, aha. Very good. I don't have a plan for like next weekend yet, or for next Thursday. Could be, you know, Fire Emblem. I don't know. I've never played that. Could be good. I'm gonna go here and reset the bomb. This isn't cheese, by the way, is it? Highway? It's not cheese to like reset the bomb and blow open like a hole like as such. Like this is kind of expected, right? Whoops. Well, hey, that works. What's that? Eh. Now I'm confused. Okay, so... Wait, no. Fire flower for that guy. I can use fire flower. That kills him. Okay, cool. So, now we got up here. We need the thing for that. The... Goomba. We need Goomba hat. You like the bombs? I'll say I like the bombs too. I don't really have that much of a strong feeling about bombs. Am I missing something by not going over there earlier? Okay. You know what? We couldn't have gone through that pipe. Or actually, no. Yes, we could have. Whatever. Hey, this is a room with power-ups in it, and hey, look at that. Here's the power-up we need. A little awkward getting out of here, but whatever. I'm gonna take the cat suit. Okay, this will let us get through the area with the guys. Feel like we're farther on than we were last time. Mario in a Goomba. Cat Mario in Goomba costume. Kind of is quiet. Doesn't make much in the way of noise. Guess he's trying to like do a stealth thing, you know? Okay, we go through here. We're 1 coin away, and you know what? I see it. It's over there. And it just requires, you know what? It just requires this. The cat suit. So we got it. I think this level might be one for the books. Might be one for the books here. Is that a thing people say? One for the books. We're gonna put it in books. It's time to finish the level now, right? Yes? Maybe? Let's go through the door and see what's up. What? I've been here before. I was kind of expecting, like, Oh, but now I can turn the on-off, on-off. So now we can get this and go through this door. Okay, so that's different. Couldn't do that before. Checkpoints. I'm gonna die and reset my timer. My timer, you know, up over there. Not my level timer, you know. Oh, okay. That's fun. I like this fucked up cloud path above the screen. Making the player platformer above the screen is, I think, one of the most underrated, like, fucked up things you can do as a maker. You know? It's just hard to land when you can't see yourself. How about another card? Finish the dangers in my heart. Thought I would do a little bit of a segment just going over the anime that have finished in the last week, because a lot of anime have finished in the last week. The first one was Dangers in My Heart last Saturday, and that one turned out pretty fucking great. I really enjoyed it. It's a show about a girl. It's an anime about a like sort of about a couple of kids who are cute, and one of them is a big, beautiful model who is also just like secretly the biggest. I say secretly. It's like just kind of the biggest goofus you've ever seen, and she's just really a fun character and very cute, given the gap between, like, oh, you know, everyone's really impressed with her, you know, and then they think she's gonna be, you know, she has like popularity, but she is still, she is large, but she is still a little kid and likes to eat candy and, you know, be generally immature and a little goofball, which I think is great. But there's also another character, the main character, who is like, he's a little bit of an edgelord, a little bit of a, how do I get through this? Oh, okay. He's a little bit of an edgelord, a little bit like Seth, a little bit like, you know, what's the word? Disaffected. But at the same time, he's just a kid, you know, so he's allowed to be a little bit like dark and gloomy and stuff, and he realizes that he likes this girl, and it's just kind of kind of just a cute show where, like, you know, she does cute stuff and goofy, like, doofus-y stuff, you know, like weird stuff, and he's like just constantly reacting, going like, oh, that's weird, and eventually they get to talking and get to being closely more, like, tighter, you know, they get to, like, talking and hanging out more, and it's cute and earnest and good, and the only thing that's, like, bad about it is there are some characters who are, like, there's, like, some background boys that are, like, immature in, like, a lewd way, you know, they're, like, running around and, like, talking about all sorts of inappropriate business for kids to be doing, but, you know, I can't appreciate that is, like, accurate, you know. That is what little boys would, you know, around that age, they do talk about that shit, you know. And also, you can at least appreciate that the main character is not getting in on that. The main character is just, like, constantly annoyed that those boys are being, like, little weirdos, being creepy, you know, which is the right thing. You know, at the very least, establishes, like, well, he's not a creep, you know, and the girls, they also do not appreciate that either, you know, which is also, I suppose, accurate. This corner thing is hard to get into, huh? Ground pound and on slope and jump, maybe. That'd be more reliable. Do another card. Talk about Demon Slayer Swordsmith Village arc. Just another arc of Demon Slayer, but I ended up, I think, being more positive on it than the last few. In ways, because it does mix things up a little bit. A couple of characters that have been in the last couple of arcs got a little bit of a break in this one, which I think was nice. And also, I really enjoyed. I think it was better paced than the last few arcs of Demon Slayer. And also, Demon Slayer, by the way, is a shonen anime, you know, sort of like action and battles and stuff, about like guys who run around with swords and they decapitate like vampires and stuff. And where it's at now, every vampire is going to be like one of the top 10 vampires in the world, and also, you know, one of the top Demon Slayers is going to be joining in for each of the arcs, it seems like. There we go, slide works. Look at that, because we have the fire flower, we can get past that guy more easily now. There we go. So I just thought it was a really good arc, a really fantastic arc, and I feel like it was sort of the highlight of my Sunday, you know, throughout the entire season. And that kind of comes as a surprise, considering that, you know, on Sunday, Gundam also has been airing, and, you know, Gundam is phenomenal. That Gundam has been really good. I feel like season 2 hasn't really. This is the second core of that Gundam show, of which for Mercury hasn't really been doing it as much for me. And maybe part of that is being up against Demon Slayer, which I've just been enjoying on a very basic level a lot more. It's also beautifully animated, and you know, the setting of the last season was really nice. Thank you for the level highway. I'm happy to have gotten through it this time. I'm gonna hit complete, and we won't have to worry about that level code ever again. Next up is Lord Bowser. Gone around the horn now. Let me see now. When are we gonna do the lightning round? Say like 7:45. Yeah, 3-3. That's right. This is your new level. This is the one you just finished like the other day. Very nice. Do another card and talk about it. Kuma 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 Bear Punch Season 2. Ended up pretty weak on this one. Went with a 3 out of 5. Didn't really enjoy it, I think, as much as Season 1. Just felt like there was kind of nothing going on for a lot of it. And also, you know, didn't feel like she wanted anything for most of it. It was just like stuff happening that you don't really care about, and then like, okay, whatever. I do wonder if I really enjoyed that first season, or if I'm just like remembering, or maybe if I went back to it, I would enjoy it not so much like this new season was. But I will say, I still like the main character in Kuma 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 Bear. She's like a girl who has been reincarnated, and she has to dress up as a bear, even though she kind of wants to play it as a cool girl. She has to dress up as a bear to have like overpowered skills and stuff. So she's just running around the fantasy world being an overpowered bear. Like, she's in pair pajamas, basically. Oh, I think we saw... Did we see an earlier version of this, or did we... Actually, I think I would remember if we had, you know, like, done an off-screen, like... That off-screen thing he did there. I think I would have remembered that. It was about Cheap Jeeps. Cool. Anyway, Kuma 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 Bear. Kind of weak on it. Kind of a shame, considering that it was only one of a few, like, returning shows this season. Would have liked it if it was, like, better. And I did think, like, the main problem with the first season of Kuma 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 Bear, which I gave a 4 out of 5, was that the first episode was kind of poopy. You know, and after that, they sort of stabilized. They sort of got into shape. And, I honestly thought this would be a layup, because, like, okay, well, it doesn't have to introduce the idea of the Kuma 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 Bear, of her, you know, so they can just start with the good stuff. They can just, you know, nothing's out of order, can be told in a normal way, no problems. And it turns out, there's kind of nothing left for them, apparently. Good thing you put the arrow there. Yeah, I mean, otherwise, how would you know? No other levels do, like, off-screen pipes like that. Second half is an auto-scroller. I'll pick up difficulty just a little bit. Surprising that the second half will pick up difficulty being an auto-scroller. But I guess if these, you know, you can't really outrun these guys if they're like, you know, if you're auto-scrolling like this. That said, you can kill them, which is also pretty good. If you lose your thing, it's hard to kill them. I guess you could always, in like, you know, the original Super Mario Brothers games, you could kill the fishes that are coming at you, but there's so many of them, it's hard to do that effectively. I always think the Cheeps in this game, in Mario Maker 2, it's hard to make them like anywhere near as scary as they seem in like some of the other, in like the main Mario games, right? Like Super Mario Brothers 1. Like, oh my god, Cheeps are horrifying. This game, nah, they're like the least scary thing in the world. I don't know that I've ever been scared by Cheeps. Like, I'll just walk alongside them, you know, without any fear in the world.
Oh yeah.
GG.
Time.
Very nice. Hitting complete on that. And then hitting next. We'll say 7:45 for the lightning round, so about 20 minutes from now, folks. Koofy, go ahead and confirm. Koofy, do another card here while you do. Finish, Kubo won't let me be invisible. That's a 5 out of 5 with a heart. That basically just means it's a favorite, you know, it's a S tier. Fantastic, phenomenal. Beyond but beyond like a normal 5 out of 5 rating. Anyway, Kubo won't let me be invisible. It's about a guy who has like so little presence that he is basically literally invisible. Literally, he can be right in front of people and they won't see him. It's almost verging on superpower, even though it seems like it's just his like way of being that people don't notice him. You know, it's not really a superpower. And you see, the thing is, there is one girl who is able to see him, and she's kind of a cute, like a very cute girl, very expressive. You know, sort of the opposite of the main character, who is called Shiraishi. Very sort of the opposite of him. I believe his name is Shiraishi. I might be thinking Golden Kamuy, actually. I think they both have a Shiraishi. Both shows have a Shiraishi. By the way, Koofy, you are up. Go ahead and confirm. Or else we'll do sudden death. And it's just a very, very cute show. The conceit of him being invisible is fun, and they use it well. It's a good little joke, and also there's just a lot of like little chibi inserts where like, oh, you know, there'll just be like a chibi reaction that'll just be like the cutest damn thing you ever seen, and you know, it's cute as hell and it's good and you like it. Really ended very positive on this. When this came back after a 3-month hiatus because they fell behind production wise, they had to delay by 3 months, I was pretty fucking happy. And you know, I think in the 2 seasons that it has aired, you know, the 12 whether you're talking about the first 6 episodes that aired like last season during like winter 2023, or the last 6 that aired in spring 2023, I think it has consistently been the cutest show on television, the cutest anime of the season in either case, and it might just be the cutest anime of the year, all told. You know, I guess we'll see, but goddamn, I very much enjoyed that anime a whole hell of a lot. What should we play here? Let's see now. What's a good one? Thwomp Teamwork? Let's do Thwomp Teamwork. That sounds interesting. I don't see Koofy, so I'm gonna put you into sudden death. Speak up and I'll start a timer, you know. Right, guy got me a helmet. Now. Okay, so we don't want to like hit any reset things. We want to take this guy down somehow so he can break a thing for us. Oh, what? These guys float up? I didn't know these guys float up. This feels like the wrong answer. I feel like I fucked up. Let's use the reset door real fast. Whoops. Okay, get that helmet again. I think we gotta, like, draw him over to the left and then like, pop behind him while he's doing so. Okay, now please go. Jeez, he go. Goddamn. Perfect. There's what we need to do. Now pull him down. Okay. Wait, is that guy going to... Oh, that guy goes down. That guy stomps down. I didn't realize that. Okay. Weird how precise you have to be for him to stomp versus, like, not stomp. I didn't know you dragged around guys like this. This is an interesting mechanic. Ooh, fuck. I fucked up. Okay. Let's drag him around again. Do another card. Skip and Loafer. That's one of the other series that finished on, like, this week. Skip and Loafer is a show about a girl who's from the country who is a little bit, I don't want to say high-strung, but... Oh, I see what we do. We got it. We got it, folks. It's a show about a girl who is like, very much like... Wait. Very much like... There we go. She is very much like, she's from the country, but she moves to Tokyo in order to attend, like, a really nice high school or some such. Oh, I'm fucked. Wait a minute. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. Wait, maybe I'm not. Yes, I am. I'm fucked. I destroyed the platform that I need to get back up. Well, that's a really interesting puzzle right there. And I appreciate, and I like how it uses, like, mechanics that I had no idea about. Wasn't able to get through it in 2 tries, but I'm impressed. I think that's really cool. It is a cool idea. Good work, Koofy. And go ahead and see who's up next. Up next is Caraspino. Caraspino, please confirm. Anyway, Skip and Loafer, about a girl who is like, the first thing that happens is she gets lost on her way to school, and she is just so stressed and she meets a boy who is also like, who is also on his way to school, but is just so relaxed about it, even though he is also going to be probably a little late, which and they sort of strike up a nice little friendship that is very cozy and comfy and nice, and it's just very much a show about kids in high school trying their best and being friends and shit, and it's great. And that just it almost approaches romance. And I mean, I could see in a season 2, if it were to go in a romance direction, that wouldn't be too much of a shock. But right now, it's just sort of a cozy, comfy, mostly platonic relationship between this one like bookworm type who is just like super anxious about everything and wants to do her best and wants to be like an overachiever, and this one boy who is like really hot and popular and laid back and chill and has like sort of a quiet confidence to him, and the two of them sort of like striking up a friendship and being good buds, which is it's cute. You can tell when you watch it that that it is very stressful, going to high school and doing all this stuff. But you can also tell very clearly that it's all going to be all right. They're all going to be happy. They're all going to be fine. No problem is too complicated where just like time and distance won't fix it. Hey, Caraspino, there you are. Very good. Let's go ahead and see what's up with this one. Setting the timer now. Anyway, really liked it. Gave it a 5 out of 5. Ooh, this requires looks like some sort of shell jump situation. Well, I'll try my best, but we'll see. I'm not so good with the shell jumps. I don't do them all that often. You'd be surprised, maybe, how rarely shell jumps come up on the channel. But I'll give it my best and use the indicator and hopefully manage it a couple of times. I wonder if there's multiple shell jumps to this. There might be. We did it. Kinda. Step 1. Anyway. Let's do another card. Finished Konosuba, An Explosion on This Wonderful World, and started watching the original Konosuba right after that. 5 out of 5 for that. Okay, there we go. We're got to a new area. What? What? Oh! Throw the thing left. I think I got it. Whew. So Konosuba is a comedy about like some really terrible characters. It's sort of a, in a isekai comedy. It's set in a fantasy world. Oh, god damn it! Caught the spring after I threw it. It's not what you want. It's set in a isekai world where like it's a fantasy world. There's like swords and monsters and stuff. And the party of the original show consists of one, regular guy who's sort of a scumbag. One goddess who is an idiot. One mage who only casts the basically nuclear bomb magic. That is the only thing she casts, and she will cast no other combat spell ever, and she can only cast that once a day. Basically it's joke magic. That is literally what they call it in the show. They say explosion magic. That's joke magic. Don't learn that. That's not valuable at all, actually. And a masochistic paladin who is like their crusader, who is like their just exists to take damage basically. She's a tank. But also she enjoys it. She enjoys soaking damage. That's sort of the joke there. Anyway, so explosion the explosion spinoff is based around the aforementioned mage character who is just, and basically is how she got to where she is, you know, how she learned explosion magic and how she how her growing up was. And despite being about a joke character and how the first half is set in like basically her hometown, which is a joke setting, you know, it's a setting full of Chunibyo type characters, you know, characters who introduce themselves by saying like, I am called Ding Dong, and I am the foremost pasta chef of this town. And also I am an archmage. How you doing? You know, just a bunch of characters who are just, what the hell? What the hell do you do there? Just a bunch of characters who introduce themselves in the most ridiculous ways, and they're just like constantly posing and constantly trying to look cool. And yet, the spin-off kind of plays it straight, and it works. You know, despite everyone being a joke character, they kind of play it straight and make you feel like you just want to see everyone like, you know, you want to see her learn explosion magic. You know, you see her yearning for it, and it's exciting and fun, and, you know, you feel like, oh, wow, you know, I want to see her do it, you know? Even though, you know, you've seen the show, you already know that she's gonna do it. You want to see it, and you just see her, like, her aspirations and her dreams, and it's pretty fucking good. And I think it works how mellow it is, in contrast to the main show, but I will say, like, after she does learn explosion magic, the show kind of like just becomes like what like more traditional spin-offs of shows tend to be, which is, say, kind of just a retread, you know, kind of just like, oh, you know, what are the 3 settings that the show has visited yet? You know, they visited those town that has weird cultists in it. They visited the main starting town, and like they also visited the Chunibyo town, you know, the town where the main character lives, where the town where it starts, and what it ends up kind of being is just like retracing the steps, like in reverse. Like, oh, you know, she goes to the weird cultist town, and then she goes to the starting town, and then the show starts. You know, the original show starts. And when that starts happening, it starts feeling a lot less like unique and novel, and a lot more just like a retread. But it's still funny, it's still good, and also there's some parts that are just really funny with the context of like where Konosuba goes as a show. You know, like in particular, I think my favorite little bit is there's a part where she says to herself like, you know, someday I'm gonna get like the oh, you know what? Wait, no, that can't be right. I'm gonna have the party of my dreams. We're gonna have like a like you know, like a chivalrous rogue. We're gonna have a talented archpriest, and we're gonna have a brave crusader, and we're gonna solve all our problems with integrity and no chicanery whatsoever. You know, they literally say in the translation, in the subtitles, chicanery, which I thought was just a really fun word choice, honestly. Okay, that's not it. I was thinking like maybe you jump off it twice. And you just know like, oh, that's funny. No, there's gonna be a lot of chicanery in your future, actually. How do you do this? What the fuck? Do you have to do like a shell jump something later in another place? I don't think so. Anyway, ended up really enjoying it, and then going back to the original Konosuba, watching 3 episodes of that. I'll say, like, going back to Konosuba, it is clear immediately, like, oh, there is actually more difference than I thought. It turns out it is still pretty mellow, even in the retread parts, because the original show does lead a lot more into, like, you know, the main character being a scumbag, which, of course, in the spin-off, the main character is the mage, and she's a joke character, but she's not a scumbag, you know. She's a little bit pig-headed, but she's not a scumbag. And also, there's a lot more camera shots of, like, you know, just getting the camera, like, right up the asshole like a cute girl character, you know? Like a lot more just like, oh, okay, you're gonna put the ass right in shot then. Okay, cool. Just gonna like focus on that ass. And it's just like, okay. I guess. I see why you did that. I guess you like asses. And boobs, I get it. You know, who doesn't? But like, it's a lot leerier, the original show, which I guess I forgot. But it's funny and you know, and sort of a way of like outrageously funny, you know? It's it almost has sort of a Always Sunny type vibe to it, the original Konosuba, where like, yeah, you know, all the characters are supposed to be terrible. You're supposed to not like them. They're supposed to be like, what's the word that was used for like Trump supporters? They're supposed to be like degenerates. They're supposed to be like what was that word? It was a whole controversy because I think Hillary Clinton or someone called them like called Republicans that word. They're supposed to be that. They're supposed to be horrible. That said, is the cameraman supposed to be among them? It's hard to say, you know. It's hard to really figure out what the fuck, I guess. Anyway, as for another anime, Yuri is My Job, the last of the ones that recently finished that I watched. Yuri is My Job is about Yuri, by the way, just means like girl on girl. It's basically like a subgenre of oh, I think I know what you do. You jump over to the Koopa. You jump over to the Koopa and then you jump back. I think. Does that make sense? So Yuri is My Job is about a girl who works at a not really a maid cafe, but at a themed cafe where all the workers at the cafe they like play act and they act out little Yuri scenes, little girl on girl scenes where it's just like, you know, they're constantly like flirting with each other, just as part of the just as part of like the job, right? And they just do like a little flirty scene, and then everyone in the cafe goes like, oh, and they clap and they applaud and they go like, oh shit, this is great, oh my god. And it's just so funny, like as a conceit, because it's like, yeah, you get some nice little Yuri scenes of just like, yeah, here's some girls flirting, and then you get like some meta stuff of like the audience literally pogging over it and losing their minds and just going like, god damn, it's so fun to just have a live audience for like this like you know, for like this performance that they're putting on. And also beyond that, there's a whole meta aspect where like, you know, this is a job and they are acting, and you know that like, oh, this character, even though they're flirting when they're in costume and on the job, she actually kind of hates her, and it's a more complicated relationship than just it seems to the audience. I am really not sure what I'm supposed to do here. That shell, there's not a thing that I can jump on below it, and if I jump back, I'm just gonna die. What am I missing here? Oh, wait, no. Do I need to throw the Am I holding on to the spring too long, maybe? Anyway, there's also the main character who's like a perfect fit for this setting. She has like she basically is like the most cynical, deeply cynical person ever, but she wants to be seen as cute, so she very intentionally puts on the cutest facade imaginable, and you get to see like you get to hear her inner monologue where she is just constantly thinking things like, you know, when people say to her like, oh my god, you're so cute, she, you know, does like a cute little smile, and then her eternal monologue says, I fucking know. You know how hard it is to be this cute? Goddamn hard. Like, fucking right, I'm cute, is what she's thinking inside. And that is just always, always funny. Ended up with 5 out of 5 for that one. Really quite enjoyed it. The drama, I will say the drama gets a little heavy at times, but I think it works. What? What the fuck? I grabbed the shell as I was... I didn't know you could do that. What did I do? Okay, that's it. We figured out what we need to do. Anyway, those are the anime that have finished in the last week since the last stream. And I'll say, like, I'll say that there's actually like 4 more anime that have finished today that, you know, I'm just fresh off work. I haven't had a chance to watch them. But guess what? I have cards for those too. Looking forward to finishing off 2 Cute Crisis tonight, or whenever I get around to it. That is a show wherein aliens try to invade Earth, and they find out that there are like animals such as cats and dogs, and turns out that cats and dogs are a lot cuter than anything they have in space, so they get really into them. And it's mostly just aliens looking at cats and going like, holy shit, these things are so cute. Like, I can't believe these. I will say, the later parts of that show lean a little bit weirdly into content creation. Like, characters and aliens starting up YouTube channels to, like, show off their cats and stuff. And, look, I haven't owned a dog of my own in, like, ever. But I'm pretty sure most pet owners aren't trying to go viral on social media. That's like a sort of a rarity. Sort of a rare thing. So I feel like that's a little weird. I'm not sure where that's gonna land. I think it's somewhere between a 4 out of 5 and a 3 out of 5. It's alright, it's fun. It's cute to see them, like, hogging over cats. Alright, we got 5 tries left. After this, the lightning round will begin, so look forward to that. Police, and... Okay, I think we know what to do now, actually. Surprisingly. It's possible we might finish this. If we don't die like that 3 more times, actually. Very possible. What's the lightning round? Oh, we'll explain what the lightning round is in a minute here, but it's a good time. So you know how we do tries left, right? Okay, here we go. Damn it. That was close. You want to know? I'll tell you now. Thank you for the level, Caraspino. Feel like we were on the precipice of figuring it out. Oh, actually, the clear time is 36 seconds. There's probably a lot of this level we didn't see. Let me pull up the thing. Thank you for the thing. I'm gonna hit next. Next up is Alter for Walter. Folks, it is now time for the lightning round. During the lightning round, I will only have... Let me do the thing first, actually. During the lightning round, I will only have 5 tries to beat each level that comes at me. 5 tries, refreshing at checkpoints, 7 for subs, and also for the first person of the night who is present. Alter for Walter, please confirm if you are here, and you'll get full time a day, you know. You'll get the 7 or the 5, whichever, you know. Alter is the one up currently. Rainbow Discord. I see you are up, but Alter for Walter, that's the question. Anyway, so for the lightning round, we'll have 5 tries, refreshing at checkpoints. Should be a fun time, keeps things moving, and you know, please keep on submitting levels until such time as the queue is closed and, you know, we wind down. And I usually time that up with, honestly, these days I've been timing it up with whenever I run out of cards. You know, when I run out of topics to touch on, at that point I'm like, okay, it's time to get to an end. You know, usually that's around the 3 hour, 4 hour mark, you know, which feels about right for a stream. Let me, Alter for Walter, you are up. Not seeing you. If Alter's not up, we'll do it in Sudden Death. Sudden Death still works the same during the lightning round, but, you know, I will say if you do like show up when you are on Sudden Death, I'll upgrade you to the lightning round now. You're welcome, Caraspino. That was good shit. And I'll say, just because we cannot beat a level in the lightning round, Sudden Death, or, you know, even outside of either of them, doesn't mean it's burned forever. We can easily take another shot of it, you know, tonight, another night. You know, you can submit a level multiple times. It's all up to you, you know. I'm not stopping you. The lightning round does not burn levels. It's just a fun set of stakes that make things, keep things moving, you know. Thank you for the follow, Rainbow Discord. I appreciate it. Thanks for throwing things at me as well. So many Pikmin. Sudden Death, let's go. Also ending tonight is Tony Kawa. What the hell? Oh, that's neat. Every time I jump, the things get toggled. Tony Kawa Season 2 is ending tonight, and I'm really looking forward to that one. Really looking forward to finishing up that one. That's just a cute show about a guy who gets married, and his wife is cute, basically. That's all you need to know about this. This is a great idea for a level, by the way. I think it's just really neat. And I don't know how you did it where it's when you jump, it just toggles and untoggles. In my testing, it seemed like that was very hard to set up. I tried to do a level where the enemies jumped when you, like, jumped. You know, basically just using that mechanic, you know, the jump pad. And it didn't really work that smoothly, actually. This is really cool. Good fucking work. Wow. Oh, this time I'm just toggling it on off. There's no mystery here. This particular screen. So Tony Kawa, I've been enjoying this new season. I think it's been quite good. Very cute and earnest, and, you know, there was some stuff around like, oh, you know, around like, oh, should they do a proper wedding? And, the stuff around that has been fun and good, you know. It's been fun, it's been cute, it's had lots of little moments of like... of like the relationship getting advanced. Kind of everything I was looking for from a Season 2. Top notch. I'm thinking that'll land at a 5 out of 5. Unless it were not to stick the landing, which it will do. Yeah, that's a really cool level. Thank you, Alter for Walter, for the level. Let me go ahead and hit complete and then hit next. Rainbow Discord is here. Just said GG. Very good. Put you into this, and also go ahead and pull up the bonus heads. You can see here the bonus heads. They come in a variety of you know, different heads. Some of them Mario, some of them not. The ones that are not Mario are a lot less likely to turn up. I'm gonna randomize them now. I'm gonna hit the stop button now. Toadettes. Got Toadettes. Very good. Let's go ahead and do that. Again, the bonus heads are for the first level of the night where the person is here. And, where the person is present. And, also for subscribers, you know, Twitch subscribers. Which is the thing that costs like $5 a month. I always wonder when I say this, you know, eventually I post the VODs onto YouTube. Are the people on YouTube being confused and going like, subscribers, that's free. It's free on YouTube. It's not free. It's the equivalent of like the joining thing on YouTube. I think that's what that's called, joining. I don't get that. I don't think that's as well as used as often as like subscribing is on Twitch. Cool. Nice. This seems like a nice and simple level. No, nothing too complex. Some nice little Goomba towers, moving platforms. Nothing too fancy. I like a nice normal level on occasion. Is this it's just called easy level, okay. I was wondering if this was like the 1-1 of a super world or something. I could see this being like the 1-1 of a super world very easily. This guy here. Very Mario-esque, yeah, very Mario-esque, I agree. You have a super world? You feel free to submit your maker code and I can, you know, go into your super world one level at a time. Very good. Thank you for the code, for the level. It completes. Let's see the next one. Get those bonus heads down. Hey, it's true. Buckets. I don't know if I've heard your thoughts on the Super Mario Brothers Wonder reveal. Oh, I loved it. I'm super hyped. I'm super excited. First Mario Brothers 2D game, other than Mario Maker, which is, you know, not like a, you know, core. It's not a core main Mario game. I think it's the first one of those to have any fucking ambition since, like, Super Mario World 30 years ago, which, you know, god damn. You think that was the first level of the Super World? Makes sense. Kind of felt like it. Let me do another card here. Looking forward to finish off the Cafe Terrace and its goddesses. Yeah, it looks fresh, and the style. Oh my god, the style. The Cafe Terrace and its goddesses, sort of a harem show about a guy who owns a cafe, or a guy who's like, you know, college aged, whatever. He inherits a cafe, and he has a bunch of live-in, a bunch of live-in waitresses who are totally going to fall in love with him, even though, you know, at various stages it might seem like they hate him. And kind of horny, kind of lewd, kind of trashy. I think it's probably the trashiest thing I watched this season. That's either a 3 out of 5 or a 4 out of 5. I haven't really decided yet where I'm landing on it. I guess maybe it'll depend on, like, if it can have a really good, solid last episode to really kick it off with. That ended apparently today, so that's cool. Might go after this. That's cool. It's up to y'all how much you watch. It's all good either which way. Let me just run through the rest of these, like, anime that finished today that I have here. Otaku Elf is the last of the animes that finished today. It's about a immortal elf goddess. Whoops. It's about an immortal elf who is the enshrined goddess of, like, a little town, and she has a Miku, you know, a shrine attendant who is like her personal assistant, and the elf is very much an otaku. She is slovenly and you know, a bit lazy. What's up with this? What is this? Mario mini rooms. Huh. She's a bit slovenly and you know, such, but it's very cute and earnest and fun, and it's just the closest thing to just a pure slice of life this season had. I think I'm landing it at 5 out of 5, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna do with a heart. I think it might be a favorite. I have to think about that. It's borderline, whether it's like whether I give it the S tier status or not. Fuck, that was... This is a nice level, by the way. I like it. I guess it's got like several miniature rooms in a row. The only comment I have is that this first part seems a little fucked up. To jump over the guy. Also, I will note there's like 4 more shows. Saturday and Sunday that are ending, and 3 more shows on Monday. Oops, I cut off the Y on Monday. My bad. Mondav. I was sort of editing the card and dragged it all up. Don't worry about it. You understand it's Monday. A Galaxy Next Door, my love story with Makuta, level 9999. Summoned to another world for a second time. Stella of the Theater, World Die Stars, Dead Mount Death Play. Why Ray Leanna ended up at the Duke's Mansion, and Golden Kami Season 4. Those are all finishing in the next 3 days. So yeah, the season of anime, it's just about over. And I think it's been a really good season. I feel like there's a higher than average amount of shows that I think are like 5 out of 5, you know, with hearts, you know, all-time favorite worthy. And I think of the shows that are like, of those shows that I just listed on that card, I'll say I think my favorites of them is Deadmau5 Death Play, which I'm just really, I think that one's just extraordinarily cool. And basically it's about a weirdo necromancer who gets reincarnated into another world. He's like a big undead skeleton guy, and he gets reincarnated into our world and just wants to be cool and chill and hang out. You know, even though he was a big fucking, like, Diablo boss. You know, like a kind of boss you would see in a Diablo game in the other world. He just wants to live in peace, and there's a bunch of weird supernatural stuff going on. It's fucking good. I highly recommend Deadmau5 Death Play and Insomniac's After School, which isn't ending next week. It ends the week after. And Oshi no Ko, which ends like it ends like next Wednesday, which, you know, wasn't on the card. That's those are the 3 of, you know, I will say there's, there we go. I do like to not really differentiate that much between like all the S tier shows, right? I would like to think that you know, if you're an S tier, top of the top, until it comes time to do like top 10 animes of the year. Fuck. Until it's time to do like the top 10 anime of the year. I don't really like to differentiate too much between, like, you know, S-tier animes, but I will say, those are the top 3 I look at and go like, yeah, those will probably be in the top 10. I feel weird about it when I do it, though. When I start planning things too far ahead of time, you know? Like, I start saying, like, oh, you know, this one... I feel this way about Game of the Year, too, you know? About, like, planning too far ahead. You know, being like, okay, well, I need 10 games for Game of the Year. That's weird. It's not so weird to instead say, like, oh, yeah, I think Zelda's gonna be Game of the Year. That's not weird. That's... I feel like having a running Game of the Year is pretty normal, but having a running idea like what number 10 will be, that's less good. I don't want to do that as much. But also, every Insomniac's After School I watch, and every Deadmau5 Death Play I watch makes me go like, god damn, this needs to be on the list for this year. Damn good season. Probably like a good, healthy portion of the shows ended up being like S tier for me. And I feel like I'm being like more generous than usual. But also, then again, like, somehow Gundam didn't end up being S tier. You know, despite the first season being S tier, so maybe I'm not being as generous as I think I am. I don't know. This is some really good, like, routing as well, I'll say, Highway. The way you're routing me from, like... The way it's like... There's only one way through these spaces, right? And it's very intuitive. I hope there's a checkpoint here. Checkpoint refreshes our doodads. refreshes our doodads. There we go. I guess I didn't hit the button hard enough. Then we died, so perfect. Really look. Fuck it! Ah, that. Really looking forward to the next season of anime. Next season of anime looks really good. There's a couple of like returning shows that, you know, I'm hoping are better than some of the returning shows from this season. Like, I will say I've really not felt pretty strong. I mentioned Kuma 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 Bear earlier. That season 2 ended up at a average to me. I think less than average is less than average would be less than I would say that less than average has been Messai Story, which isn't ending tomorrow because it's a 2-core. It's actually ending 12 weeks from now, which, god damn it. You know, that's kind of my thought about Mixed Messai Story when I think about how it has 12 more weeks left. It's the second season, so I watched the first season and thought it was good. Thought it had some issues, but I didn't think it was bad. But this new season, man, I'm just really it's disagreeing with it, you know? Finding to be like super not to my taste, not to my liking. Mixed Messai Story, it's like a baseball anime, right? About like high schoolers going to baseball. By the way, I see you're playing Ape Escape. I've never played Ape Escape. I will say, True Buckets, I did play Ape Out yesterday, which is a completely different game, but it does have ape in the name. Makes you think. Anyway, that game is, that show... The problem with this new season, this recent season of Mixed Messai Story, is they haven't, in the first 12 episodes, they've barely done any fucking baseball. Yeah, I loved it. I loved, like, replaying it as well. I did the whole thing in, like, a couple of hours. Like, 2 hours. Look at that. Refreshes our doodads. Which I didn't know that I could do, but, made for a nice end of stream thing. No. I will say a weird thing. Apparently, like, the credits, YouTube thinks the credits are some other song by some other performer. Must sound very similar to it. You do like, copyrights. I need to, like, contest that copyright, I'm sure. I had to contest it on Twitch as well. Not important. Anyway, looking forward to next season. It's always bittersweet when a season of anime ends, and the shows that I've been watching for the last 3 months are over. But also that means that there'll be a whole new slate of shows in, like, you know, starting... I think, like, in a week and a half, the first of the shows starts. Which I believe is the Horimiya show that's, like, the missing stuff. The stuff they didn't adapt for the first season, which is a little weird, you know, that they went through all of Horimiya and actually finished the story, and then they went back and said, like, oh wait, this show was a success. How about instead of doing, like, 1 season that doesn't have everything, you do 2 seasons? But I'm gonna look forward to that anyway. You know, I loved Horimiya, so I'm sure I'll enjoy the stuff that they didn't adapt. Fuck. Do another card here, and I think we gotta pause for a second for this card, because one more time, let's put on that trailer. Check out. One last time tonight, I'm gonna put on that trailer. I'm gonna move myself over here, and let's go. God damn. So good.
Onward and upward.
I love the style. I like how it looks. It looks like hand-drawn. you know? It looks like not quite 3D, not quite 2D, but like a stylish combination of the two, you know? It has stuff in it like that stuff that feels like it's right out of Tropical Freeze. Looks like all the levels have cool mechanics. I guess I haven't talked about like the talking flowers. That seems like a decent way to add a little bit of personality to every level. You know, some guys just doing like a little bit of narration, you know? And not even like heavy narration, just like a little joke here and there, you know? Like, whoa! What the fuck? That's weird. You know, it's not like Bastion style of like, Mario jumped on the pipe. It's just like, hey, do a thing! And that's all you need. You know, you don't need that much dialogue, but just a tiny bit of it. Yeah, he took the LSD, he did. I bet that rolling thing is just a is not a power-up. I feel like it's gonna be a wonder mode thing. One thing about Wonder to think about is that it is SMBW. Very close to SMW, isn't it? Weird how you can push pipes. The abbreviation is one letter off. I suppose also it's one letter off from New Super Mario Bros. Wii. Well, it just doesn't have the N on it, the starting N. You can glide. Can you always glide? Do you think you can always glide, or is that just in a certain levels? Also, what's up with like the hang gliding? There was Bowser Jr. in there. Can you stand on those big bullet bills? I bet you can. I think that house used to be like an evil Bowser castle. And yeah, that person, that totally like a flower bud, that guy's head. 40 years of Mario trips. Yeah, Peach looks so joyous. They all look joyous. Look how those blocks look 2D. They're not 3D. They're flat. This game is like a perfect hybrid between like a 3D and a 2D. God damn. I hope they have more bosses other than Koopalings. You know what? Yes, I hope so as well. I'd be surprised if they didn't, just because it does look like this is taking some chances and doing some cool stuff. And if they didn't, that'd be surprising to me. All right, let's get back to it. Bowser Jr.'s fine. I hope that Bowser Jr. like does some sort of weird transformations, right? Like it'd be cool if Bowser Jr. like took on like a shadowy form, you know, and then like changed his body in addition to his mouth and stuff. I think that'd be cool. That's how I died the last time. We're on our last try here. Yeah, I think so as well. There's some evidence there. The boss has like the Bowser Jr. like bib and paint bib, except now it forms an actual mouth. And goddamn, I hope they do Super Mario Wonder in Mario Maker 3. I will say I also am hoping for shit, fuck, oh, damn it. I feel like we were close there. Thank you for the level, Highway. Let me go ahead and get up the next person. Hopefully we'll finish that at some other point. That little scene is fantastic. Justice, at 1003. You are up. Let me add Justice. I am so excited for that game. And yeah, like Mario Maker 3 put in... I still think they should put in Yoshi's Island as a style. But also do put in Wonder as a style as well. I think that would be That'd be fantastic as like a new style they could do for, a third Mario Maker whenever they do that. Take a drink. Let me do another card. What constitutes mainline Mario, core Mario, etc.? With this Mario game, Mario Wonder, I see people saying mainline, and I think that, well, this is core Mario. I don't think it's mainline Mario. See, this is a thing. There was like a video a while ago, a YouTuber going over like all the things of like which games count, which ones don't. And I think the thing is the thing that fella didn't realize is that those things mean different things. Mainline means main line, the main line at any given time. Which up to the point where it switched into which initially for Mario 2D games, all the 2D games are main line. And then when the Mario 64 comes up, that became the main line. That replaced 2D as the main line of Mario games. So the main line goes pretty much directly from like 1, 2, 3 lost levels, arguably. World. Arguably Yoshi's Island, because it does brand itself as part of that franchise, And then right to 64, and then it's pretty much just directly through the 3D games from there. Sunshine. The main line goes Sunshine, Galaxy, Galaxy 2. I think that the land and world games are off there, so it just goes directly to Odyssey, I think. I think it just goes directly to Odyssey from Sunshine. Oh, and Sun Death. This is spelling out words? ABCs of Death. Oh, it's kind of like Poke-Floats. Kind of a fun idea for a level. Not too bad. Not too bad. Anyway, that's what mainline is, but I think core is more inclusive. I would say that core includes basically any traditional Mario platformer that is either 2D or 3D, that is like, that is like just a platformer, nothing weird, nothing unusual, not like a spin-off, not like its own franchise. I guess actually the new Super games are kind of their own franchise, their own like sub-series, but I still think they count as core. To me, Wonder is not a mainline game, but it is a core game. And I do think core games are important. But mainline always means the main one, which would be, which I think still will be Odyssey until such time as a new 3D one comes out. That is how I see it. Don't know if people agree or disagree, but that's just how it is. Thank you for the level, Justice. Very nice. Let's go ahead and hit next. Whoops, I forgot to complete that. I should have. Oh, it was a maker code. It was a maker code. No difference. No difference. Perfect. Bowser, you're up. Another card. Follow up on Hakone's onsens. Talked about Hakone a few streams ago, and talked about how Hakone is a town in Japan that is well known for like its hot springs, and how it had like more of a resort vibe to it, because it has like tons of onsens and like it has like tons of onsens and like somewhere it's not like the normal onsen where you get all the way naked and you go in there, but instead it's swimsuits. And I was looking into that because I was kind of wondering like, wait, is that really how it is? And I couldn't find any like, I could only find like one mention of the swimming suit thing, which makes me think it's not widespread. It's only for like one place that does that, but it was a very interesting example, actually, if you look at it. Oh, let me move myself. I forgot to move myself up to back to the upper to here after that last bit. Look at that. It's an onsen where people, it's a hot spring type thing where people bathe in wine. The way that it sort of describes the rest of it makes it sound like sort of a thing for kids, but wine ain't for kids. I guess it's for everyone. A play area. That sounds like a fun place to go. Definitely, you know, Hakone is on my list of places I want to go if I go back to Japan. You know, I think that'd be a great time. Basically, it was the Monday stream I was talking about, like, places I would want to go if I went to Japan again. Most of them are going to be places I've been to before. You know, last time, which was like 2008. But, 2018, sorry. But a couple of them will be new, like I wasn't really a theme park person, so I'm going to go to Fuji-Q Highlands and, Universal Studios Japan next time I go. That much is for sure. But I'm also thinking about doing some stuff just like in the Mount Fuji area. You know, just like hanging out, taking in the sights of, you know, a more up-close view of Mount Fuji, which I only saw at like a great distance last time I was in Japan, basically from like the train, you know? Basically only saw it from the train. Which, hey, you know, that's a perfectly fine and plenty efficient way to see that big mountain. But I don't know. I'd like to see some nice scenic stuff, you know, more from up close and shit. I guess. I think I have a photo here. Yeah, there's a photo I took from the Shinkansen, the bullet train of Mount Fuji. Beautiful. Definitely would, you know, make a stop there, actually, if I were to go again. And I do want to go again sometime in the next couple of years. Not this year or anything, just, sometime soon. A lot easier now. See, you've done some changes to this. This is a lot, I think, a lot more appropriate for world, for this world, especially because, like, hey, you know what I just noticed you did? You gave the player Yoshi, which makes it so that they can use Yoshi to deal with the spikes. That's a smart design. Good work, Bowser. That's, I like it. I like the iteration there, the revision. Thumbs up. Good work. If only you could make it so that you couldn't, like, just cheese it by jumping on the head directly. But, you can't help that, you know? You really can't help that. And also, what if they lose Yoshi? They would need to cheese it in that case. I think the difficulty level is just right for World 2 as well. Good work. I was also talking, like, the last stream, about, like, photos and stuff. I showed off images from my 2018 Japan trip. I showed off, like, 5 of them, because that's how many, you know, like, pre-programmed image buttons I have. Well, oh, and let me see who's next, by the way. You're right, let me do that. What's with the letters, Rainbow? Rainbow, you're up next, and I see you're here, perfect. Let me just run through these, though, real quick. I only had 5 images, but, I just figured out, you know, I just set up a way to just, you know, show whatchamacallit, a slideshow. So I just put together a little bit of a bunch of photos from Japan. Here's a couple from, like, the Shinjuku National Gardens, which were very pretty. Bunch of trees and shit just in the middle of, you know, Shinjuku, which is, like, deep, and it was just, like, a very cool, like, metropolitan area, and just to have these nice gardens that I could went to. I would go here again. This is what I went to on the first day of my trip. You know, just like, okay, I'm like really tired. I'm sleep deprived. You know, I'm jet lagged. I didn't really sleep the first night, but it's morning. I gotta get out there and do stuff and unjet lag myself. And what I did is I went to these national gardens, and they were really sick and beautiful. There's a lot of nice shots there. Then I went to whatchamacallit, Harajuku, and saw stuff like this. A sign that said "fuck off, death metal." That's fun. Went to like some anime shops and saw things like, you know, little things, little promo things for like animes that I like this one, which is for Anime Yell, which is a great anime, and also I think it also a manga. I think that might be for the manga actually, but I thought it was neat that they put like little pom poms on the hands, like little physical pom poms. That was really cool. Ate lots of good ramen. Like holy shit! I saw a book that said art meets blockchain. God, you have to realize that in 2018, this seemed like the funniest joke in the world. You know, when I saw this, I was like, haha, this is hilarious. What does this even mean? Art meets blockchain. That's meaningless right there. That's meaningless. This is nonsense. But it takes on a different meaning like 5 years later, huh? You know? I went to the Gundam shop. There was a lot of fun looking stuff at the Gundam shop. Shrines and stuff. This is the one that inspired Star Fox. It's like running through all these Torii gates. Walking through these Torii gates inspired Star Fox. And I'll say, there's a fucking lot of them. There's like hundreds of them. It just keeps on going. And I walked really far and eventually didn't make it to the top of the mountain, but I did find a really good view before heading back. Check out this shit. Okay, this is fire ramen. Basically, they got this ramen, right? And what they do is they light it on fucking fire. And I got this good photo of someone else getting their thing on because I didn't want to pay for like the selfie stick that they have. So instead I took a picture as I was leaving on the down low, and goddamn, that picture turned out good. It's fucking pretty cool when they light that on fire right in front of you and you're like, holy shit. And also it's pretty good ramen as well. I would go there again. There's some pretty like shrines and stuff that I saw. This is probably the prettiest one though. Bunch of pictures of like Izodera shrine. It's like on the side of a mountain and it's all very beautiful. Got a lot of good pictures there. The bamboo forest, lovely. Just like a whole path that goes through a huge forest of bamboo. Just beautiful, man. I'd go back there again. There was a little shop at like outside the forest of bamboo where I had like a really good rice bowl. Look at that shit. Look at those onions. Oh my god. That was so good. That's what it looked like from the outside. Just a little shop on like the side of a river, like on a road near the thing. I climbed a mountain and I touched a monkey. I gave a monkey some pellets and some peanuts. Here's a shot from outside the monkey place. It's like on top of a mountain. You had to take like a little bit of a hike to get up there, but it was worth it to feed stuff to the mountains. Look at that pretty rainbow too. Really nice shit. I saw a promo for Comic Girls, which is a show I just rewatched. Just now, you know, in the present. But I was really happy to see a show that I recognized. Like, I know that this was all advertising. I don't know that I really thought about it that way then. Like, oh wow, all plastered all over like the cities that I'm going to. It's like cool anime that I watch. I didn't really think about it at the time, but that's just marketing, isn't it? That said, I think it's cool, and I would like it if anime was plastered over like stuff here. You know, I think that'd be rad. Really cool town stuff. I don't know why I picked this photo, actually. I think I might have picked the wrong one there. Here we go. Here's one of the ones I meant to do. Basically, in Osaka, there's a really cool like area that my hotel was at, where it's all like on this river, and you get like these beautiful views of like the whole fucking lights of the night, you know, night lights reflected in the river. It's just beautiful, and you can walk around the side of it. You're gonna go. Don't worry, we'll play the level. Just a few more here. Here's the Omeda Sky Building. Really, just the coolest building I think I've ever been in. It just has two sides of it, and the topper. And those are escalators, by the way, that are going up between the side of the building and the hat. And you ride up in those to get to the the topper parts. Really fucking cool. There's a town where deer hang out. I would go there again. I'd go to Ameda again. Cool mountain. Got a lot of nice views on top of Mount Takao, and including, you know, a poster for anime, encouragement of climb. Extremely cool that there's like encouragement of climb. I enjoyed seeing encouragement of climb stuff on top of a fucking mountain, you know, that anime paraphernalia can even be found on fucking top of a fucking mountain. Granted, it is a mountain that they went to in the anime, encouragement of climb, so it makes sense actually if you think about it, but at the time I was just so perplexed of like, fucking hey, anime on top of a mountain, sure. And the last thing here, last couple of photos here. This was a stamina don, apparently. And I had this like the last couple of days. I had this in one of the last couple of days of my trip. And I was just so fucking in love with it. I wish I could have had it multiple times because it was amazing. Just like ground beef, pork belly, tons of onions, egg on rice, and oh my god, I couldn't believe that that the rice could end up that tasty from having all the juices and stuff like soak into it. It was amazing. And there's a poster for it. I want to go there again. I wish I could get something like that in the States, you know, but I can't. Also, I went to the robot restaurant and there was a cool Santa Claus there. I believe that's the last of them. Yep. Anyway, that's something I can do now pretty easily. Just do a slideshow if I want to. If there's like more photos than just what can be done using the extra images thing I have set up. So like, you know, when I go to Silver Dollar City in a couple of weeks now, just a couple of weeks now, I bet I'll have a slideshow for that as well. You know, that'll be fun. That'll be good. Rainbow Discord might have already left, but you were here when your level came up, so I'm gonna play it. You know, that's only fair. I'm gonna do. You're gonna have the full lives, you know, and such. Piranha Palace. Let's go. 12% clear rate, 5 lives on the board. Let's go. I would love to go back to Japan. That's definitely something that's like high on my list. And also like, you know, like I said, I wasn't a theme park person last time I went. So like everything theme park in Japan, you know, Fuji Q, USJ. I've heard really great things about Earth Disney. Or Disney Sea, not Earth Disney, jeez. I've heard people saying really good things about Disney Sea. You know, and that I should probably go there as well. The only thing is, like, committing 3 days to theme park seems like a lot in a, you know, I don't know how many day trip. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to be that long because, you know, it costs a lot of money to stay in Japan and to travel to Japan and, you know, to take as much time as you need to do Japan. So I really have to think about, like, how I'm going to balance, like, new things and old things, and things I've seen before and things I haven't, but definitely want to go there again some point in, like, the next couple of years. I think next year is the best year for that, because the year after, I'm going to want to do, like, a big, you know, I'm going to go to Epic Universe at Universal Orlando when that opens, and that's probably going to be, like, a big trip. Well, not that big a trip, you know, just a regular Universal trip. I've done many like it. Thank you for the level, Rainbow Discord. That was very well done. Lord Bowser, you are up next. Very good. But I think next year makes sense to try to do like you know, Japan, and also I would get to see like the Mario area at Universal Studios Japan before it opens in Orlando. I know it's also opened in LA, but I'd rather go to USJ than Universal Hollywood, you know? And I think it'd be less, I think it'd be fun to see that version of Nintendo Land. Is it called Nintendo Land? Mario Land, whatever it's called. Before going to the Epic Universe one when it opens 2025. That'd be rad. That'd be cool. Do the world? Okay, you got it. How about another card? Been playing Diablo 4. You might have... That was yesterday's stream, in fact. Diablo 4... You know what? Why don't we just, get through these couple cards? Diablo 4 has been quite good. It's very much a turn your brain off and just, go through the motions game. I will say, I have run into some dungeons where, I don't know if my build is bad or just, they're maybe more designed to not be soloed so much. Maybe they're not designed so much to be, soloable. But I have run into some cases where I can't just do it, And I guess I will say I'm playing on, World Tier 2, so it's not, the easiest difficulty. It's, the intermediate, so I am making it harder for myself. I guess it should be expected that some bosses are, impossible to beat, but, I do wonder when I'm, bouncing my head, when I'm, banging my head against a boss. Should I come back later? Should I come back with a different build? Should I modify my build entirely? What's the deal here? I feel like the weird thing about Diablo is you can't just say, oh, if I do this right, I can win. That might not always be the case, You might not... If you're a character that can't heal, sustained melee damage, other than using potions, how are you gonna, hold up to an enemy that's just constantly damaging you? I don't see how that works, Anyway, it's fun. Been playing the Druid. I've decided in the last week or so, I think I'm gonna focus on the Druid, the Rogue, and the Barbarian. I think those are the three. That said, I have gotten to the point where the Barbarian is maybe struggling the most out of them, in order to, solo stuff and survive, and, get through battles. Which is kind of a shame, because it's the only pure melee one that I have. Only one that's, pure melee anymore, with how I've been building them. Thank you for Level Lord Bowser. There's none else in the queue, so why don't we just continue on with this world. We'll just keep on with that, and I'll talk about more games that I've been playing. Anyone else, feel free to kid in more levels. It's all good. Next up, replayed Ape Out in full. That's fantastic, Ape Outs. That was yesterday's stream, by the way. I went into that stream going okay, I want to do some Diablo 4 and something else, and I decided on Ape Out, and I really wasn't sure how much I was going to do, but it turned out the first, world took me 10 minutes, at which point I said oh, okay, well, let's just do the entire game then. And that took maybe upwards of 2 hours, which felt it's very manageable for the end of a stream for a segment to go 2 hours. That's not bad at all. And also, it was fucking fun as fuck. For those who don't know what Ape Out is, it's basically a top-down action game where you are an ape escaping from a lab, and you have 2 buttons. You can shove people, and you can grab people and make them into human shields. And there's a bunch of guys with guns who are trying to put you down, And basically, you can grab them, at which point they, form a human shield for you. They'll protect you from, 1 bullet. And also, they, instinctually, fire off 1 shot when you grab them. So they'll be ah! Boom! The gun will sort of go off in their hand, almost inadvertently. And you can use that to kill other guys if they have, if you line it up properly. Which always feels super satisfying. Or you can just, push guys, just, push them into a wall and they just turn into a fucking blood splatter, just immediately. And it's very fun, and, each level, mixes it up in fun ways, how it's set. The first level is just, escaping from a laboratory, and there's, oh, there's parts where the power goes out, and there's parts where, I can't think of any other examples from the first world of that. Where, like, different enemies show up or something. Like, the guys who have bombs strapped to them that you have to, like, you know, not let explode on you. Because if you let them explode on you, you're dead, you know? But also, like, the second album is set in a high-rise, so you can, like, just push people out of windows, and, like, you know, when you grab them, you can also throw them. You can throw people, so you can grab them and throw them out a window, and just see them, like, splatter upon the ground in, like, sort of a Mode 7 sort of fashion. They sort of fall in sort of like a Mode 7 looking way. It's fucking sick. And also, the whole time, there's, like, a dynamic soundtrack that's just like jazz drums. Just, like, constant jazz drums, just like with, like, cymbal clashes whenever you kill a guy, and, like, the drum beat going, you know, going apeshit every time you, like, kill someone. You know, just, like, escalating every time you kill, and if you don't kill, it sort of, like, quiets down. And, it only starts in every level. Every level starts in silence until the first time you kill someone, at which point it just, like, kicks up into fucking, like, a full-on, jazz drum fucking, cacophony. It's fucking cool as fuck. I'll say that I think the first two albums are the best too, but that fourth one's pretty good too. I think that the third one is kind of the weakest, but I love that game. I loved replaying it, and it's just phenomenal, and I would recommend it to anyone. Yeah, Ape Out. It's available on, you know, Switch and stuff. It's an indie game. It was published by Devolver Digital. Devolver Digital, publisher of good-ass indie games. Another card here. Tears of the Kingdom. Still playing that. The thing I found out recently of Tears of the Kingdom is I'm trying to clear out all the shrines and shit, right? Because I still got like 20 shrines left in the game, and a lot of them are in caves, so that's pretty hard to find sometimes. You know, you go to the location and it's like, okay, there's no shrine here, so it must be underground somewhere. How do I find the cave entrance, though? And I was sort of talking on Discord, like, you know, oh, there's no way. And people told me on Discord, oh, actually, there's two ways to do it. One, there's, like, guys who hang out near the mouth of caves that you can look for. The blue guys that you hit and get gems from. I didn't know those guys were hints. I thought those guys were just, you know, fun to kill and good to get rupees off of. I didn't know that they were actual hints. And also there's this whole thing called cherry trees, which when someone said, like, yeah, you can go to a cherry tree, I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? I haven't even heard of that tree. You know, I haven't even seen one of those. I don't know what you're talking about. And it turns out, like, that's just a whole thing. That's a whole subsystem that lets you, you know, that gives you a good hint for what to do. And I tried that out, like, on, I think it was yesterday, actually. It was before yesterday's stream. Like, after work, but before yesterday's stream. Which was a little late for unrelated reasons. But started a little later than usual, you see. Here we go. What's this? Just a optional collectible there. But yeah, just it's amazing to me that even this deep into this game, there's still huge, like, systems that and like things to collect and find and like look for that I had no idea were even things. I guess part of that is that I didn't do all the stable quests. I think there's probably a stable quest or something. Like the root of this, if I had like gone to every stable, and I think the clue for like the cherries thing is in a stable, and there's like a map in one of the stables as well that helps you out with that. But if I had done all the stables by this point, maybe I would have had that, you know, found that naturally, you know. It's extraordinary to me that there's still like so much, still even that I've yet to find. You know, I'd like to think that I've seen everything now, you know, then nothing will surprise me, but as far as I know, I'm gonna hear someone say like, oh, there's like a Waffle House in this town. And I will go like, wait, what town? What town is this that has a Waffle House? Oh, it's the other one in you know, in the south. No, where's the place where there's not a town? It's the one that between like Rito and Gerudo. You know, that town. And I'd say like, there's no town there. And I go there and I found like, oh god, there's a town here. There could be a whole town. I'm pretty sure there's no town that I don't know about. Let me be clear. But if there was, I'd be surprised, but like, there's been other things of that magnitude that have been hidden to me. Like, it was only like a week ago, like 100 hours into the game, that I found out about the evacuation shelter that's in Lookout Landing. In the first place that you go in that game. Whole area that I didn't know about. This is the castle of the second world? Second world? What world is this, Lord Bowser? This is World 2, Dry Ruins. Right. Perfect, yes. Anyway, I think I have, like, one more card. As far as, like, games I've been playing. And, I'm not gonna, like, leave y'all in suspense. It's Marvel Snap. I talk about this a lot, but apparently they're reworking their collection system. I was thinking about giving this a break. You know, I talk about Marvel Snap probably a little too much, but apparently they just put out this news about how they're changing how the economy works and making it so that instead of just getting enough tokens, enough collection tokens that you can like buy any season 6 card, season 5 card that you want every month, basically. Instead, you're gonna have like these random things that appear in your like collection track. Similar to how cards work when you're like starting off, and you're just gonna have an increased chance of getting a new card or a variant of those cards, which seems like a good system. I feel like this whole like and you see there's like a image explaining how it works. Basically, there's gonna be 3 cards that are highlighted each time there's a new card. One of them will be the new card, and 2 of them will be 2 other cards, you know, randomly. And you want to like unpack them when you have a lot that you can get from there that you don't have. But that seems pretty good to me. I'm looking forward to that rework. I think with this season, with High Evolutionary especially, I think the folly of the token system has been laid bare. Insofar as like during this season, you know, it's very rare to get any cards naturally, you know, just through like collection boxes, right? What has taken over collection boxes is just been token stuff, just doing the collection tokens on the regular. And as a result, people are just strictly getting the best cards and nothing else. You know, they're only getting like the best card at any given moment, which means that whenever there's an overpowered card, within a month, everyone has it. Whereas there's a lot of like mid-level cards and like pretty decent cards where people just never get them and never bother to get them. And as a result, the game, I feel like the meta, people's collection levels are a lot more homogenous than they otherwise would be under the previous system. And I hope that this system results in a lot less homogenized like collections. You know, I hope that people have different assortments of 4 and 5 cards. And also it does mean that the new one will be more likely to be in people's collection, the new cards, without necessarily, you know, specifically being because, like, oh, everyone decided, like, this one card is the one they're gonna cash in on. You know, cash in all their resources on. It's a good change, and something I think that's been long overdue. Even though, you know, like I got High Evolutionary, and I was one of the ones who was like saving up throughout this entire month just to go and get him, you know, just to cash him in and shit. But I don't think that's a healthy way of doing things. I think that it should be somewhat random, and I don't think if there's a new card that's the new hotness, that everyone should have him within a month and just be wrecking the fucking meta with that. That's a world. How about we do, like, I'm gonna hit complete, and you can re-put that back in, Lord Bowser. How about we do, last call? Last call for levels here. I have a few more cards. Oh, actually, I have one more card. Perfect. We're doing last call, folks, so go ahead and get in any last levels that you have, and we will wrap up, we will wrap up and do the raid and all after that. I had this card yesterday, top 5 foods, and I think I only named 4 before being sidetracked. So let me actually do fucking 5 of them this time. Cheeseburgers, spaghetti, ice cream. I'm gonna say number 4 is like French toast. Number 5. Number 5 is the hard one. I'd say pizza, but I only really like New York pizza, and honestly, I don't have any places that are like as good as I like, you know, near me anymore, which is kind of a shame. I can't say it's my number 1. I can't say it's in the top 5. I don't think. What about other fast food places like chicken? Chicken? Steak? Is it chicken? Is it steak? It could be steak. Like a really like a fatty piece of steak, like a prime rib or whatever the fuck. You know, a really choice chop. I like a corned beef. I'm gonna say corned beef. I feel like that is just sort of salty and good, and whenever I have corned beef, I think, God damn, I wish I had corned beef more. You know? That's always what I think when I have corned beef. Let's go with that. I could also go with, like, eggs. Just, like, standard-ass scrambled eggs. But I think corned beef is just, like, a cut above. It's a cut above that. There's an argument to be made for steak. Little basic. Hey, Koofy. You did? You can... Perfect. Go ahead. You woke up at just the right time, Koofy. We're doing last calls, so everyone, get in your levels. Get in your last levels. I should really have a thing that says, like, last calls. I agree. Corned beef is great. I'm going to play one of my levels here and give y'all sufficient time to get in one of your levels before we close the queue and, you know, end. What level should we play? I wonder. Have I ever used the word wonder in a level name? Or in a description? Let's see. Maybe wonderful. I don't know I really used wonder. It's not a word I use that often. Wonder. What lies beneath this thing? There's treasure here waiting to be found? Nope. Everyone is a bit jumpy. This river has a real kick to it. Locals hate it. Say the words and pass through. Or closes. Seam of dreams. I am buying y'all a lot of time. Apparently. Wonder. I wonder if I've ever used the word wonder in a description. My stupid level went into the weekly popular. Dang. What? Really? The one that is like, the one that like is, that you walk to the right with? By the way, Yoshi, or not Yoshi, Highway. Don't know why I said Yoshi. Highway, are you still working on that, playing the bad level from earlier? I think that's a different... I think Koofy's level isn't the one. That's a different one I'm thinking of. But I'm curious if you did it. Got through it, you know? I don't think I've ever used the word wonder. In a description. Wonder, wonder. I know this is a great streaming. Great streaming. Okay, you know what? I don't think I did, so let's try to use a different rationale. How about... We'll do, let's see now. You know what? We'll do, my most popular level. We'll do Extendo Slam Jam. You know, on account of it's the first level that was the first level I did that was 3D World, which I did wonder when Super Mario Maker 2 had 3D World if they ever would make like a new 2D Mario that was like this style, you know, like 3D World style. This archetype is more ambitious and has more going on than New You, but I will say, Wonder is just like a cut above. It's a cut above what even this would be, you know, and I think it's a cut above even like the 3D World and 3D Land titles, at least from my first impressions. I guess, you know, who knows? Who can say in the end? Again, folks, get in your levels. Get them in now. This is last calls. This is last calls. This level is sort of inspired by, is inspired by. It must have been there for maybe an hour. Nice. That's sick. This level was inspired by, like, the waterfall levels from Donkey Kong Country 3. That was a lot of what I was looking for as far as, like, how to do, like, the, how to structure it as far as, like, a vertical level goes. You know, I believe this was also my first vertical level, so, you know, I was looking to the originals, you know, as far as, like, how exactly you manage that. How exactly that sort of thing is done. You know what? Let's go through the entire series here. Fuck it. I'm gonna buy y'all a lot of time. I'm just gonna go through the entire... I did like 4 different levels here, exploring like the 3D World archetype and, you know, putting it through its paces, since it had so much that was like brand new to this theme. Rocket Barrel Ride from DKC3, that was like the primary inspiration here. You know, that's a level about like jumping into barrels and like jetting upwards and then jump and like blasting out of them one way or the other. Pretty similar to an exclamation point block that just goes up, if you think about it. Extendo Slam Jam is that first one. Second one, Shredded Slope. This one was the first downhill level I ever did, which, you know... Howdy, Squink. That's a fun name, Squink. Squink ATL. Howdy, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. You came at just the right time. We are in last call for levels. Last call for levels. I am just playing a few of my own to give y'all some time to fill up that queue one last time before we round out, you know, the levels that are in there. Get through them and all. This level was inspired by the Black Ice Battle from DKC 2, where it's a level where you're going down, and also Parachute Panic, which is a level where you go down, you know, like more falling than like going back and forth. You know, at the halfway, it sort of goes from more about going down sloped areas to going just like these vertical shafts where you have to go left and right and shit. Lord Bowser, you know, Squink. Oh, that's nice. You know, the viewer levels, people who do viewer levels, it's you know, there's a relatively small world, you know, after all, as they say. It's a relatively small world after all. So a lot of times the folks, they know each other, which I think is interesting. You know, if you go to like any viewer level stream, often enough you'll see like the same folks. You know, you'll be like, oh shit, I know that person. I know that person too. Oh shit, I know them. Oh fuck. It's a who's who, just, you know, popping into any random like viewer level stream. This is the first hybrid water level I ever made because, you know, they added this in Super Mario Maker 2. This is Tiger Bite Bayou. Bayou, right? Yeah, Bayou. And also the first time I ever used Cat Mario. And for that, I think it turned out pretty fucking well. With this level, there are some cases where if you carry a thing, you can use it to like get past a wall that otherwise you'd have to get through. You know, you'd have to like wait through. 2 feet also recognizes. I don't know if y'all recognize, but still. With this level, I had a lot of places where you can do like nice dives as the cat, and you know, it's all lined up nicely where you'll just pop through some guys. You know, like this bit here where you jump out of the water and then dive back in, and there's some cases here where you can do it again, just like jump over rather than go around. I'm really happy with this. All these 4 levels turned out great. These 4, like, you know, 3D World Tour, as I called it at the time, and each of these areas is each of these levels is sort of themed to like I guess sort of a place around the world, you know. Like this one's a ski course, this one's some sort of festival. So this one is a like place that you climb. I guess this one's just an area of the lost mangroves, which I believe is from Tropical Freeze, is the idea behind there. Last one here, and then we'll go to you know, the levels that have been submitted. Again, last call. This is a rising lava level. In this one, you're you know, being chased by the lava. And I used blink blocks to make it like a little bit challenging. You know, basically use the blink blocks to make it so that there were cases where you would have to wait. Like here, for instance, like, oh hell, you know, you have to wait until the lava is just basically on your asshole, and then you can go. Found that was a good way of keeping the lava like pressure on, you know, keeping the heat on, as we all say. You also have cases where you can, you know, do some wall jumps to speed it up a little bit. If you don't want to like land on jump twice. And here it becomes a little bit of a Castle Crush. In the second part, you ride these boxes up, which I thought was also fun. May surprise you to learn. I thought that the things that I put in my level were fun. That's why I put them in my level. You see. I'm gonna go the left way. You can go the right way as well. A little riskier, I find. At certain points, I just say like, ah, fuck it, just go. Forget the lava, just go. You know, I think that's fun to do. And also you got these nice clouds because, you know, you're high up, is the idea. So of course there's clouds, because you're in the sky now, because you've climbed so far. You know what, I'll play one more here, and this is just a quick 20-second one, but when I made a temporary super world for the first time, you know, before I made the actual super world, I just put these 4 levels into one world, And I add this 5th one for flavor, which is bonus stage, board the blocks. This is the first time I combined like a 20-second timer with some sort of clear condition to make something that is like somewhere between a 20-second level, as you see like everywhere, and a Donkey Kong Country bonus stage type thing. So you see here, you have to kill 10 enemies by boarding the platforms. I was also a little inspired by, you know, by Smash Brothers in this. You know, board the platforms and all. Very easy to do in 20 seconds. Pretty fun, pretty novel. If you don't miss it like that anyway. And it's fine if you don't as well. Alright, folks. That there is the part where I buy time. Let's close the queue and do the last of the viewer levels tonight. Go ahead and close it. Just go ahead and hit full and hit next. Lord Bowser, you're up. We have 3 here to do for the last. Let's go. Let's do it. And then we'll do a raid somewhere. I don't know where. We'll see who's streaming tonight. Used to be I watched Dan Reichert every Friday, but he hasn't been streaming for the last couple of weeks because he's been busy traveling and doing stuff, and who knows, you know, it's not all like public knowledge what he's up to. I don't know, but I've just been more doing like regular stuff on Fridays now, just watching anime, getting like the VOD taken care of, you know, for like, let's say the Thursday streams or whatever. Stuff like that has been more taking my time on Thursdays these last couple of weeks, which, you know, is nice. Means that I have more time to like, more time on my weekend, but also I do enjoy a chaotic stream that I watch, you know, until like midnight or something. This is Cheap Cheap Beach. Yeah, I remember this one. Well, of course I do. I played them all before. Man, I could go with a burger right now. I'd go with a burger. Maybe that's just me talking about my favorite foods and listing burger as like #1 earlier, you know? I'll say oh, this is bad water. That's bad water down there. I will say, like, I'm not 100%. I feel like I could go either way on, like, the top food, like, #1. Like, there's an argument made for ice cream as a food that I'm happy to eat every day. You know? I'm happy to eat ice cream once a day, every day. I'd also be happy to eat eggs every day, but, you know, it's not necessarily #1 as a result of that. But burgers are, like, the most regular-ass food that I eat on the regular. Whereas French toast is like, you know, the king of breakfast foods. And if ever I want to treat myself to breakfast, I'll have French toast. You know, it's a treat. I guess I would go cheeseburgers for #1. Wait, what am I doing? Thank you for the level, Lord Bowser. I'm going to hit complete, and then I'm going to hit next. And I'm going to exit out of this because I shouldn't have hit the stick. Shouldn't have done that. Next up is Koofy. Koofy, you still up? I understand it is, what time is it over there, Koofy? You're like, German, right? Your maker thing is, yeah. You are, right. You are present. Gotcha. Yep, German. What time is it in, over there right now? I'm sort of a night owl as well, so I understand being up until late night. 4 a.m. Yeah, I understand being up at 4 a.m. It's, not that uncommon for me. What should I play? Any suggestions? Let's see now. I think we were doing the, well, we were doing the... We tried out the, Bewitching Dance. Okay, cool. I tried out Swamp Teamwork, And I think that's a really cool idea, I'll say. But I was having trouble getting through it. I wasn't able to get through it in 2 tries, you know, with sudden death. You know how it is. You know how we do. Bewitching Dance. Okay. We'll do Bewitching Dance. Power up Matrix. I feel like let's do Bewitching Dance. The other one's a puzzle, and I'll tell you, I am kind of in the mood to not think right now. I feel like I am done thinking for tonight. You know, I say that the next level might be a puzzle level. Who knows? It's run, right? Cool. That's a cool music thing. Oh, I forgot to kill the Wiggler. Whoops. Wiggler, kill the Wiggler. We're gonna walk this time. We're gonna stand. Let's see what it sounds like. Discordance, I think, is the answer here. Should I... Is this gonna be a hard boss fight? How do you even kill this guy? Okay, this crush him. Oh, I see. Okay, that wasn't an elevator for our use. That was not just an elevator. We're gonna run this time. We'll get the proper music. Okay. I didn't realize that was a boss fight last time. I just thought, okay, I see the door. Let's go. I just thought, like, okay, I'm leaving. Bye-bye. Okay, now sounds good. Damn it. Oh. What? Okay. What? Please go under the thing. Oh, come now. Want to make it feel like a dance? Oh, okay. We can just lure him over in this direction. That's much easier for that last last one. Want to make it feel like the dance, like the original? Gotcha. I'm not that familiar with the. I say I'm not that familiar. I'm not familiar at all with the original, but that's cool. Thank you for the level. I'm hitting complete, and I'm hitting next. Last up is Squink. Squink, go ahead and confirm. We'll do the level. Go ahead and get this done. Squink. Just did an emote. Is here. Perfect. Alright. Let's see what we got for the last level of tonight. Ooh. I could use a burger, but it's too late to go anywhere but Whataburger. So I guess I'm going to Whataburger. Maybe. I'll think about it. Sonic the Hedgehog's birthday. Something or other. It's a music level? Low clear rate. Let's see. Ooh, nice. This seems cool. I like how the music sounds. I have to jump up these slopes, don't I? This song seems familiar, but I'm pretty sure I'm not familiar with like the actual song. This sounds like a song I know. Or maybe it's... Okay, I think we're good now. Oh, Jesus. Shit. It's from Sonic 1. It sounds great. I think you've done a great job, and this gameplay does feel accurate. You know, it feels fun. Flows well. Some places where I have died a dumb death. Oh, fuck! Forgot about the spikes there. We're on our last try. This is the lightning round and all. I want to make this. I want to do this here. Full concentration. Checkpoint or end of level. Either way, checkpoint, that refreshes our lives. Perfect. Okay, good. What? Oh, go under. One. Fuck, that's a bad thing. Not like a hat or anything. Okay. Next try. We can do this. God, that guy is scaring me every time here. Just go off the edge. Walk off the edge there, not jump, I think. Yee. Okay, fuck! Two more tries. Let's do it. A little bit sweaty, the hands, you know. Jump, jump. Here we go. Fuck! Nearly there, I feel like. That had to be near the end. One last try here, folks. Let's fucking do it. Fuck. Ah! A little bit of dilly-dallying there. Led to my demise. Thank you for the level. We nearly did it. I feel like there might have been a whole third section there. Probably not, because I bet you were out of space with the first two sections, actually, if I'm not mistaken. Probably didn't have the real estate for a third. Question mark. Maybe you did. Really impressed by that. That was pretty close. There's a Dr. Robotnik sprite. Ah, okay. We would have to... Nearly got that. Would love another shot at that. I will say again, you know... I will say again... that just because I can't be a level during the lightning round doesn't mean he can't resubmit it another day, another time, even in the same stream, if the queue were to be open, which it is currently not, because the stream is over, the stream is ending. Thank you for the follow, Squink. Squink ATL. I'll be back on Monday night to finish off A Hat in Time. There's enough of that game left where it'll just be one last stream, getting one timepiece in the first world, and then doing the Seal the Deal DLC. That'll be Monday stream, and then I don't know what the next playthrough after that will be. We'll think about it. Thursdays, I don't have a plan for next Thursday yet, so we'll see about that as well. But Fridays around 6 p.m. Central, that's always going to be viewer levels. Unless I have something else planned or something, you know, depends. Let me go ahead and see who's streaming right now. See who we can do a raid on. Let's see now. A lot of people streaming right now. That's nice. Let's go with Daft Husky. Daft Husky is cool. Once did Mario Maker streams. I think he does like more just variety streams these days. Is doing like fucking Nintendogs or something now. That sounds fun. I'm gonna go pull that up in my phone so I can watch the raid go through. But I'll see y'all on Monday for Hat in Time finale, the final stream of a Hat in Time playthrough replay. I'll see y'all then, folks. Y'all have a great weekend. Bye.